What is going on, Casually FC? Welcome to another installment of the Casually Chelsea Show. I am your host, Marshalldbdx, in company with the Bridge 258, Oliver, and Real Chris. Ladies and gents, before we go ahead and start this show for you, you already know what to do. Smash up the like buttons if you haven't done so already. If you're just coming in, be sure to click it because it does help us with the YouTube algorithm, helps get awareness out of the channel's existence so that we can have more people subscribe. And if you are new here, be sure to hit the subscribe button because we do try to be consistent and do content every week in regards to Chelsea and the channel and the footballing and the results and everything related to Chelsea. And maybe we might expand in the future. Who knows? But that's just an idea. But yeah, be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hit the bell notifications so you are somewhat notified when we go live. I know the YouTube notification system is a little weird, but it works for some people. I think it works on desktop, but when it comes to the cell phone, maybe not. But yeah, be sure to hit that bell notification so you are kind of notified if it works for you that we're going live. Be sure to check out the links in the description for everyone's channel. Ahmed, are you still on your way to 1K?
Oh, literally, I'm only 29 away now because like I have.
All right, yo, it's a climb. It's a climb. Listen, YouTube.
29 right now, more people, you know.
Exactly, 29 more people need to go. The link in the description below. Check out Ahmed's channel. And then subscribe so that he can get to 1K and I can finally remove him from the links in the description. I'm just kidding. Anyways, check out the comments down below as well. Leave your comment level. Let us know what you think about anything and everything we're going to be discussing, as well as checking out our memberships. We have 4 different tiers starting at 99p. All that really helps out the channel. Keep the lights on, pay for StreamYard, you know, pay for Chris's vet bills, you know, all the fun stuff, you know. So
they're covered.
Yeah, exactly. We got to get everything covered so you can help out by becoming a member and using those fun emojis if you haven't done so already. So big up to everyone in the chat. Big up, big up, big up. Spam. What's the spam? I'm spamming? Well, I don't know what the spam is.
You're spam, Marshall.
There's some spam going on.
Right there.
I have no idea. I know, but big up. Jose's got the right idea. Smash up the like buttons. But all right, ladies and gents, listen, international break is here. It's been a little boring. We got one more week of it, though. I think this weekend we have Chelsea, and then we're scotch-free.
Yeah,
this weekend we got Chelsea, and we're scotch-free, and we don't have to worry about any more of this international break for a while. I don't think until January, right?
No, we got November.
November? Is it an international break in November, too?
Yep.
Jesus fucking Christ.
It best be important, like, you know, the group stage ones, no friendlies.
No, it is. It's going to be
not this much international break.
Because there's some World Cup internationals going on. Because I know Somalia's got an World Cup international against Algeria.
I do feel sorry for these players sometimes because they have to play a lot of games still. And it's
an international break for us, not international break for them. They just fucking... There's no break.
They don't have any breaks.
Then after the November one, there's none till February, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, good. I mean, yeah. There's a good reason what, Chris?
There's a good reason why they retire early, like at age 34, 35.
Now it seems that way, at least.
Yeah.
Ridiculous right now. But all right, let's get to the first topic on hand, and let's discuss Graham Potter. Graham Potter to Napoli.
I didn't know that.
Hey, Chris, that's why you're here, man. That's why I made this channel, so that we can inform people of late news, just like people like you, Chris. Great, brilliant, awesome people like you. Okay, so former Brighton and Chelsea boss Graham Potter is in line to replace Rudy Garcia at Napoli if De Laurentiis decides to sack Garcia. As of right now, I don't think he's sacked Rudy Garcia yet, but I believe I should have mentioned Conte was actually linked to this position as well, but he turned it down. For whatever reason. I think Antonio Conte had committed to, you know, taking care of his family and, you know, focusing on that for a little bit before coming back into football. But Graham Potter going to Napoli, is that a good fit for him? I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of pressure there.
I think
Graham Potter does well under pressure. I think Graham Potter needs a project that's like not as much pressure in order to do well. So, I mean, I don't know. You guys agree with that? Or how do you feel about Potter potentially going to Napoli if Rudy Garcia gets sacked?
He's going to make all that talented players probably run away, like Osimhen, Cavachile. All these players probably going to run away after like a year or two with him, like if he stays that long. I don't rate him as a manager. Like I see under, for example, Brighton as a football club, like they improved massively when they lost Potter to this new manager they had. You saw him at Chelsea, it was like a massive disaster, like he didn't know what he's doing. God knows why Napoli won him. Like, I don't know what wage he's going to be on it at Napoli, but it won't be nowhere near Chelsea's. But yeah, I don't rate the guy. I think he's an awful manager.
I mean, wait, hold on a second now. Like, listen, I know Potter wasn't great, but let's give him some credit as well.
What credit?
Before De Zerbi came into Brighton,
yeah,
he did do decently with Brighton. You know what I mean? He made Brighton a mid-table club.
Did he? Yeah,
we're
that's
in a
the
mid-table
thing.
club.
But the thing is, they lost their player of the season, right? They lost Caicedo, and this man just still doing like quite well with them. I just think, yeah, like
is De Zerbi doing quite well?
Lately, it's not going too well. Okay, yeah, but I mean, like, overall, like he got them to the final. Obviously didn't win it. Now he's kind of like not Champions League, is it Europa League he got him?
Yeah. Europa Conference, maybe, right?
No, it's Europa League. Villa in the conference.
Can I ask what final Brighton got into?
Wasn't it against United? Or am I getting confused?
They got into.
No, that was Newcastle in the Carabao Cup final.
Okay, they must have got
FA Cup.
Semis. It's got to be semi. They got knocked down penalties, and they've got.
Yeah, I think it was the semi-final of one of the cups.
Yeah, it's against United.
Semi-final.
Yeah, they got. Yeah, United knocked them out. Then okay, my bad. But that's still pretty good achievement for Brighton to go to the semis.
I mean, it is good for them,
and taking it to penalty shootout, because they did take it to penalty shootout, because I did watch the game. But I think he held him back a little bit, to be honest. I didn't rate Potter like that. But
I mean, I feel like
I think we had to give him a chance. No, but like I couldn't believe we stuck Tuchel for this guy. No, but I still couldn't believe.
I know. I agree with that.
Tuchel was an unreal manager, and we hired this. Like, I don't want no English managers no more. I'm put off of all English managers. I think Napoli should run away. But
Oliver, what do you think, man? What do you think?
I mean,
Napoli. Is that a good fit for Potter?
I mean, I echo a lot of what Chris said. I don't think it would suit Potter, but when your alternative is Antonio Conte, it's like, are we really? We got to pick our poison here. Like, that is two terrible options right there. So I think they just need to.
Okay, but surely Conte's better than Potter, though, right?
I mean, yeah, but Conte is just so outdated now, and like,
I'd rather Conte still.
He's got a proven track record of going everywhere and leaving the club in a worse position than he joined it in. Even if he wins them a league title or two, you know, he leaves the club in a worse position than he joined it in. You know, he did it at Chelsea, he did it at Spurs. You know, he did it at Inter to an extent. I mean, they got to a Champions League final, but in the league, they haven't really been there since him. So they just need to reevaluate their own decision-making process. The fact that they're looking at those two over someone else. I mean, I don't know who I'd suggest for Napoli, but that's up to them. I just know that those two choices wouldn't be mine if I were a Napoli fan.
Ahmed, what happened to the previous Napoli manager? He just walked away from it, right? He didn't. There wasn't disagreement.
Spalletti basically he basically got burnt, if that makes sense. Like, he got tired of like the dealing with the head of Napoli essentially. So that was what happened, and he also kind of got burnt out from football as a manager. So he wanted to take a step back. He took a step back for a few months, and now he's managing Italy. But in regards to Potter to Napoli, I think the problem that Napoli have right now is that the market for managers isn't as great. Like, and I think also the thing with Napoli is, I don't know if Napoli is as an attractive option as many people would like to think they are. Especially a lot of these Italian clubs, I don't think they're as an attractive option as maybe going to like the French league, the German league, and even the English league, in my opinion. That's the problem that you have. Unless you're like going maybe to an AC Milan or an Inter Milan, I don't think Napoli is a sort of job you want to go to. It's almost, I feel like Napoli reminds me a lot more of, like, you know, the Liverpool job before Klopp went there, where it's just like your medium to high manager might go there, but like it's not really
low expectations.
I was going to say, Ahmed, exactly. You talk about unattractive, especially what's happened with Osimhen right now with their whole PR, media team as well. Like, that's quite bad itself as well. What's happening?
Well, just on a more broad level, they can't really can't seem to retain their best players. I mean, they sold Kim Min-jae.
Osimhen might be gone too.
They sold Kim Min-jae this summer. Osimhen, the only thing people are talking about is where the hell he's going. Same more so with Kvaratskhelia. You know, they're just not a place that's going to retain their players and then push on to maybe go and win a Champions League. Exactly, that's not the trajectory.
That's the point that I've always made. That was it called the thing with like Napoli for me. If I had to compare, I kind of think Tottenham might be a better example of this. But this is like Tottenham back in the day, like a prime Tottenham, when they had a lot of these great players, like when they had Modric, when they had Bale, even Kane, where they'll be like a top four side. They may win the league every now and then, but guess what? But eventually, their top player will be sold essentially. If you know what I'm trying to say. Now,
Yeah.
in regards to the management, I think if I was Napoli, you probably want to go for someone that's a bit more younger, that can bring out the skill level of your team. But the problem that you're gonna have right now with Napoli, in my opinion, is the owner, the owner guy. Or if people think what's his name, Abramovich or like Bowley is really hands on, then this guy is like even more hands on. He's crazy, man. If you don't win that many games, you're essentially gone. Like the reason why Sarri was able to stay there so long was because of like how poor they were, like, and how he had to literally rebuild them from scratch. Essentially, that's one of the reasons why Sarri was able to stay in the in management over there. So, in regards to like the choice between Conte and Potter, I probably would still say Conte, in my opinion. But the problem that they have, even if you bring in Conte, is that I don't think they have the Conte type players anyway, which is the big issue that they have. They don't have guys that are like Conte type players, so it's a bit difficult on that front. In regards to Potter, I think he can do a job there at the end of the day, but whether or not it's a good enough job, we'll see. For me, De Zerbi, it seems that De Zerbi has kind of like he's like trailer 4 is started to end, if that makes sense. Where his steam is starting to end, and like I know we've said this previously before. Once a lot of these mid-table club teams, once they get like 2 games a week, it becomes extremely hard for these guys to be able to maintain that form and that level. And we've seen that already with Brighton, that they're very much unable to maintain the level that they've been at previously.
I mean, they just don't have the depth now, do they? Like, they're not as much depth as depth.
It's not even just the depth. Like, if you look at the table they're in, bro, they've got to face Marseille. They've got to face, obviously, I think there was the Greek team they lost to as well. There's also Ajax they have to face. Let's look at Ajax are shit, but I feel like Ajax they will still to a team like Ajax, they will not be as great against them either. So we'll see, man.
I thought Chris was going to say something.
No, I just got him back on the mic.
Gotcha. But yeah, it's just Potter has to work at some point. I don't know if Napoli's going to be the right.
I don't think he has to do. Like he got such a big payout from us. Like it's really up to him whether or not he wants to continue his career at Chelsea. To be honest, that's what I would say. I know that many people may not personally agree with that, but I think he's now in a what's it called? How shall I say? In a power in legal strength where he can go to any team now, and he's got the ability to say, "Listen, man, what are you gonna offer me?" Rather than the opposite.
I just don't think he can't take a Champions League caliber job. Like, he can't be offered that because, listen, whether you want to say, we had a toxic locker room last season, or whether you want to say, like, we had too many players, the fact of the matter is he was a massive part of why we finished 12th last season. So I just don't understand how he can eat. Conference League at best is his level at the moment. I don't know how a club of any higher status and position right now can offer him a job. That's me personally.
I hear you, bro, but the thing is, once he got that Chelsea tag, you know what I'm saying? It's cash money, man. It doesn't wear off that easily.
Go ask Lampard.
But that's Lampard, bro. Lampard, after Chelsea, where did he go?
He went to relegation for Everton.
Yeah, we went to Everton, but like if you go outside of the league, you'll get an easy mid-table to thingy table job.
I mean, he doesn't have it yet, but he's being potentially linked with Rangers.
No, he's not going to Rangers. It's already been confirmed.
I think that's a big downgrade for what he's already done. Like, wow, being at, like, going to like that league. It's either Saudi league or somewhere in Europe. Like he's got to do Lampard. Or just retire because he isn't a good enough manager. Like, I don't know how many more years he wants to like try it as a manager and like prove him.
I don't think he's going to be a manager anytime soon. I'll be real with you. He's already.
It could take him time. That's the only thing.
He's already been given the under-20 coach. He just probably stick to that. That's it. Simple as that. He will just do the same thing Henry does.
I mean, it's just kind of Lampard's kind of a weird one, to be honest, because they're like, for example. What game was it? Was it the Fulham game? What was the game that he was?
Yeah, I think it was.
Was the Fulham game?
It was before the Fulham game. He had the pre-match analysis with the guys on Monday Night Football. Yeah.
So I think you know where I'm going with this, Oliver. He had a pre-match analysis, and he was saying they asked him how he would, set up Chelsea with the team's current availability, and it was pretty much spot on with what Poch set up, and Poch ended up winning. The thing is, though, like
no, it wasn't. He played 4-3-3, bro. He literally played 4-3. He just plays his same formation all the time. That's all he does. Lampard doesn't know his 4-3-3.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. Literally, he didn't do anything. Do you not watch it? Like the formation was just 4-3-3, bro.
He played Kai Havertz as a centre mid. I remember the first game.
No, okay. I'm not trying to talk about that, but I just mean when Lampard was asked how he would set up for the Fulham game with the current squad, he said 4-3-3.
Yeah, he said 4-3-3. He said
that's his formation that he goes to, right? I understand that.
Yeah.
Even the players and where he would play them, like it was pretty much what Poch did, and the Poch ended up getting a result. Now, I don't know what goes into managing. I'm not gonna pretend like I know, but when it comes to the executing, I think that's where Lampard lacks. It seems, because I think he has the ideas to a certain extent. Obviously, every manager has his downfalls with some ideas, but I think he has the ideas, but he just doesn't execute them well.
You know what it is, Marshall? Like obviously Lampard's an intelligent guy, like in terms of football. Like we saw it on the pitch with the way he was playing alongside some of the players that he was able to play against, to beat, and to play with, right? But the problem with like management is not just about what you can do in your head. That's all it is, bro.
Yeah, and that's I think what makes the difference between him and like
sometimes for example, I'm quite a smart person, I would say personally, with the achievement accolades that I have, but I find it very hard, for example, to reiterate my own school of thought. You know what I'm saying? I can learn fast, I can understand the stuff here and put the stuff on paper, but if I need to explain it to someone, let's say that doesn't know the thing, can I explain it to them effectively?
Yeah, and
I mean, with Lampard, I just don't think he's very good with people. His man management's very poor. And going back to Potter, I think that's even his problem as well. I just see Potter as like one of those people that brings the motivation down. Like he's not gonna bring it up in any kind of way. And at the top level, you're gonna have moments where you need that. So neither of those guys are really equipped at that side of the game. And that side, dealing with people and players, that's just as important as tactics. Managing the egos.
I find that ironic because of like the players that you played alongside. Like he was playing alongside John Terry, like you can say Poch, Lampard. Lampard is of course like Drogba, like Maluda, Ballack. He played alongside very big personalities, and then when you hear like people talk about him, they talk about him being someone that speaks up a lot, was talking a lot. Heard that think about him. So for me, that is what confuses me. Like you would think he'd be a very good people's person, but like when I heard like the story from, like, example, like John Terry, for example, when he was talking about how management has changed so much, like from when he was he was a player, and like the way he understood stuff, right? I think for me, maybe it's just that. I think maybe it's just that he's trying to handle them in the way that Mourinho used to handle them, essentially, and maybe what he needs to do is try to give that Ancelotti touch. Because remember, under Ancelotti, like a lot of the other players, Lampard was pretty much playing the way he usually does, but like a lot of the other players, in my opinion, were playing to extremely high level. Because remember that 09-010 season, for me, arguably might be greater than the 04-05 team. For me, arguably, the way we were playing in that season was like some of the ways we were playing was off the charts.
That was it was very good. It's hard to say though. I think which is better though, what you said.
Yeah, but it is what it is. But you know what, man? Let's move on from this topic, man. We don't need to be talking about failed managers, man. All of these managers are just failures. Let's not talk about failures.
Listen, you know, it's been dead when it comes to Chelsea news. So hey, we can drag this out for 20 minutes like we just did. I'm more than happy. So let's go on.
There's one player There's one player I'm already seeing, bro. That there's one player going to be talking about who's going to give us 40 minutes because I'm going to kill him.
Oh yeah,
interesting.
I think I know who you're talking about.
I have no idea, so we'll see. We'll make our way over. So let's go on to the next topic right here, which is Kendry Paez. So there's a lot of hype going on around this player, rightfully so. I think it's very deserved considering the age of the kid. But listen, a lot of people speculative, right? Because because he's very young, because of the whole youth recruitment that we've been doing. I get it, but you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and some of these kids are very talented. We'll see what happens when they come to the Prem, but let's start off right here. PYS overnight. Moises Caicedo with 2 assists and Kendry Paez with a goal. Only 16-year-old playing and performing for Ecuador. I think he's the youngest in that division right now playing, if I'm not mistaken. Let me move on to the next tweet.
That player just reminded me of something, man.
Kendry Paez. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, became the youngest goal scorer in CONMEBOL qualifying history at 16 years and 161 days old. I believe this is the second goal he scored. No, I don't think he scored the goal last qualifying. It's his first goal, and I think he had an assist in the last.
Yeah, you don't know. He had an assist in the last game, and then the first game. This is his first goal in the.
You know what I'm talking about though? The last qualifiers, the last international break. I think he got.
Oh yeah, he had an assist in that one, but
okay,
this is in his second appearance. He's got a goal now.
There's a goal and assist, and Moises Caicedo with 2 assists so far in the qualifiers.
Caicedo got 2 assists in this game, by the way.
Yes,
that's what's up.
But
can you just bring up the comment by Joey Hackney, if you don't mind?
What are you saying, Joey?
No, before that, there was one before that.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, we'll talk about.
He's been decent since Tuchel. Lampard's second best. No other manager has done what he's done since TT, so you can't dog him. So let's see what Poch does if he can beat Lampard mission. The problem is, what's it called, Joey? And the reason why I would disagree, with you is that we shouldn't be keeping us. The problem with Lampard is that we've already seen that he's almost going through the same cycle that he had at Chelsea with Everton. That's the thing. Like the thing with Lampard, and I always say this before. Maybe he may have the tactical unlock. You would hope so at the very least, right? But the problem with Lampard, and I've always repeated this, maybe it's the way he comes along and speaks to players. Like I think that when you read the Athletic article, for example, some of the stuff that they were saying was that he didn't speak to some players for months.
Yeah, that was messed up, and I think those players are obvious. Like Kepa was probably one of them.
No, Rudiger was one of them, by the way. Like
Alonso.
Yeah,
Alonso makes sense.
And the problem sometimes is with especially younger managers, and you've seen this already with Arteta, and now what the club essentially did now with Pochettino, where you need to get if these older players are not going to respect the current new and upcoming manager, you have to get them removed, because otherwise they're going to be a continuing cancer in the team essentially.
I'll say this, and again, I'm not trying to say Lampard's a good manager or anything, but I gotta give him credit where credit is due. In the recent interview with the business, what was that podcast he did with the entrepreneurs or business something? I forget the name of the podcast.
No one cares.
But you know which podcast I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Listen, he did a 2-hour podcast or hour and a half long podcast with this guy, and he admitted that he should have probably been better at communicating with these players. He shouldn't have given the cold shoulder like he did. He admitted that it was wrong of him to do that, and he could do better. So listen, at the end of the day, what Lampard does with his career, whether he succeeds or he just continues to fail at whatever club he goes to, I just wish him the best, and we'll see what happens. If he ever becomes a world-class manager, the Ancelotti level or Mourinho level, whatever you guys standards you want to see from him, then maybe he can come back to Chelsea at that point. But I don't want to see him anywhere near Chelsea.
No, even if just don't bring him back, please.
Diary of a CEO. Thank you guys. Yes, thank you. But yeah, that was an interesting podcast. But yeah, I know Oliver, you have PTSD. We don't want to continue talking about Lampard. So let's go on. Let's move on. Kendry Paez. So yeah, guys. Listen, it's not even that the standard is so low. Where's this comment? I just saw it. God damn it. Oh, here we go. It's not even that the standard is so low. We got to talk about a 16-year-old. We're talking about a 16-year-old that's playing amongst professionals in a qualifier that's actually scoring goals. This guy is actually performing. That's the thing. He's 16 and performing.
You know what, man? I'm just gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep on. But the reason why we're speaking on there's no news.
That's too.
Man, listen, he's in CONMEBOL, isn't it? Isn't that what he's in the
CONMEBOL?
CONMEBOL, yeah, and
Yeah.
you know, I mean, there's a lot of stinky teams in that one still, like much like in Europe. So like, let's be real as well, you know what I'm saying. But listen, fair play to Kendry. He's
Okay, wait, hold
cooking.
on. No. Name me the stinky teams.
I don't want to mention. I said, a team
Name me the stinky teams, please. Enlighten me. Enlighten your fellows. Enlighten the South American, okay? Please.
Paraguay definitely is. Paraguay is one of them for sure.
Sure, I'll give you that.
Peru is another
Peru's
one.
awful, yeah, shit team.
Oh, fuck you, Chris.
Costa Rica, another one.
That's not a team that plays in CONMEBOL, but continue.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I thought let me bring them up, but I'm pretty sure there's a few stinky teams.
Yeah. Bring up the CONMEBOL and then tell me how stinky.
I'm pretty sure
that
you guys play
qualifiers
really
is.
rough though, because I watched the South. Well, it's not the same as
Pause.
it, but like,
Venezuela, of course,
very
Venezuela.
rough though.
Big up to
Sure.
the man them for giving me up.
Sure.
Listen, Bolivia is another one. Come on,
Sure.
Chile. They've not been as great as they usually
No,
are.
they used to be. Yeah, they used to be decent. Fair.
So that's what I'm saying to you. So basically, for
They're
me,
not stinky,
Argentina,
though.
Brazil,
Name three
Colombia.
teams.
They're kind of
Three
mid.
teams.
No, look. Listen, I said Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, and Uruguay.
Guyana does
then,
not play in the CONMEBOL.
Huh? What?
I'm just reading Kishana. Guyana does not play in CONMEBOL.
Yeah, Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, and Uruguay. I think those
Yeah.
four. And Ecuador, I'll give Ecuador to you. Right?
Ecuador's
And then-
got some decent players.
Yeah, Ecuador's actually kind of got a new generation. Then I'll say, other than that, Chile, Venezuela, Paraguay, Peru, and Bolivia. So that's half the teams, bro.
Half the teams are pretty decent teams. The other half, they're arguable, you would say. And I would say I would agree
but
with
it's the
you
same
with
in
Bolivia.
but it's the same in
Bolivia and
Europe.
Venezuela.
But I would
Bolivia
say
and
the same.
Venezuela are
But
consistently not that great. I'll give
I
you
would,
that.
but
I
I
think
would
Peru's
say the
the
same.
worst
But I would say the
copy
same
out
in Europe too.
the fuck
To be
up.
honest, even Colombia, I would be honest, yeah. I don't think they're that great too either. I'll be real.
Not anymore.
No,
They're not
so,
the same team they used
So
to be.
what? We're
But
down
hold
to
on.
essentially 4 teams.
But regardless of the fact, like,
So you got a few stinky
this-
teams, bro. Let's keep it honest. You got a few stinky teams. That's what we keep it
a few stinky teams, but those teams are still gonna beat your San Marins and like whatever other countries you. What country did the UK just pummel like 9-1 or whatever the fuck?
Well, listen, there's only San Marino really. Other than that,
What
you don't
country?
really have anyone else.
Answer the goddamn country. What country was it?
I got that.
Listen,
Serbia,
I follow
whatever the
Somalia,
fuck.
not England. I follow Somalia, not England.
One of you guys know what team did the UK just beat 9-1?
That's the youth, so I don't know.
Oh, the
What team
you?
was it?
Serbia.
It was.
You know, the
Under
one
21.
the one that see the
Serbia.
England.
Serbia under 21. Yeah.
You know,
Serbia.
the England senior team played Australia in a friendly. I think it was a friendly.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it was a funny. Yeah.
And they barely beat Australia, bro. They
Yeah,
barely
1-0.
beat Australia.
England
Keep it
are
real,
pretty
man.
trashy. Let's be real though.
This is what I'm saying. Like, you're Faroe Islands and Gibraltar.
And
What
I
the-
will-
like, this is what I mean. Like, that's more.
But no one
Venezuela-
faces Gibraltar. But no one faces Gibraltar and Faroe Islands because they don't even
But
have a team to
I'm just
power.
I'm just trying to tell you that, like, okay, Venezuela, Bolivia, they're not good teams, but they're better than the teams that you face in the European qualifiers.
No.
Have
But
that
listen,
right.
at the end of the day, bro, they're still
It's
stinky
better
teams.
quality. They're
Listen,
stinky teams, but they're much better stinky teams. They don't smell like moldy Swiss cheese. They just smell like, you know, maybe they left it in the fridge a little too long, Swiss cheese. You know what I'm saying? So it's stinky, but it's still tough
basically,
competition.
they're stinky. Listen, we can just keep up all the stinky.
North
Let's say how it
Macedonia.
is.
You think Venezuela is worse than North Macedonia?
No, that's shit. That's shit.
I said what you know what I said there, Marshall. I think you're getting it wrong. I said they have a few stinky teams in their division of CONMEBOL.
Yes,
That's the point
but
I'm trying to
also-
make. Same
also,
in Europe.
hold
But
on.
I was making the same. It's the same in Europe. We
No,
have a few
I get what you're
stinky
saying.
teams.
I get what you're saying. But like,
Like Scotland,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
stinky.
Like, listen, like these
Peru, man,
teams,
that's
like
stinky.
Bolivia is
Yeah,
consistently
man. When's
always
Peru gonna
not
ever qualify
qualifying.
for the World Cup, man? Know what I'm
They
saying?
qualified. Okay, you know, you're just
What
trying to.
was it?
turn me. You're trying to-
1948.
They qualified
You're
in the
my
last
brain, bro.
World Cup.
I'm trying to
I
do-
know they qualified in the last World Cup. They almost qualified this other World Cup, but they fucking bottled it in the.
So they're not
What
good
was
enough, man.
the
Hey,
what's
Wales qualified. They don't want to
the
hear it.
tiebreaker
Yeah,
that they
man.
have? What's that called? The when they have the
Copa del Rey?
No. When they have the fucking match to decide who's gonna go to.
Oh, the
Playoff,
knockouts. So Wales went for that.
Playoff.
Yeah.
playoff,
So Peru
yeah.
lost in the knockouts. They were
did
supposed
they
to qualify last
No,
year.
it's the
They
playoff
lost
match,
to
the playoff
New
match.
Zealand, I think.
It's called a playoff match.
The playoff match. Thank you, Ahmed.
That's a
Yeah.
stinker. Yeah, Wales had to go through that too to get to World Cup.
Yeah,
Listen,
exactly.
you know, so
So-
basically, you're just the northern island of CONMEBOL.
No, we're not.
Because they're almost
We're
the almost team.
these-
They're almost team. So
Yeah, we are
So
the
basically,
almost
it's
team.
Northern Ireland, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, fine, fair enough. I'll
Yeah,
give
so
you that.
basically-
But yeah, listen. What I'm trying to say is that like there's overall there's better quality than the shitty teams that you have to go through in the Europe qualifier.
Can I just
But
say,
regardless,
got second team,
regardless, I'm
Marshall.
trying to bring it back to Kendry. I'm trying to bring it back to
but
Kendry.
Marshall, just quickly,
Oh, yeah.
bro. If
Yeah,
you
go
don't
ahead.
make it to this next World Cup and Somali do, bro, your team
Yeah.
is trash.
I mean, maybe. Listen, my team's rebuilding. My team, they don't got good
Look
academy.
at this excuses,
you
FC,
know.
man. This is
Trust the
I feel sorry for-
process.
I feel
Yeah.
sorry
Our
for
best,
Sorry,
our
it's
best
the
player right now. Our best player right now is like a 36-year-old Paulo Guerrero.
Oh,
You
my
remember
God.
him? He's still playing, bro. He's a striker right now for Peru. Still playing.
Jesus Christ.
Bayern Munich,
I
Paulo
wonder
Guerrero.
how,
That
I
same
wonder how
exact
fast his
Paulo
legs
Guerrero.
are.
Fucking Hamburg, Paulo Guerrero. That same
I
Paulo
feel
Guerrero is
sorry
still
for-
playing for Peru.
I feel sorry for Wales.
You know what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm talking about, right?
What'd you say?
He's still playing for Peru. That's how desperate we are.
Yeah.
We're in a bad situation right now. We're not doing so hot. Ever
bro.
since we qualified to the World Cup, we
I
haven't
wish
been
Bale
doing so
didn't
hot.
retire, man. I wish Bale didn't retire.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
listen,
man,
listen.
who cares, man? Bro, is
bringing
just
it back,
a fresh team, bro. You know what I'm saying?
bringing it
Who
back to
cares about
Kendry
Wales,
Paez.
man?
Bringing it back to Kendry
Meaty
Paez.
teams,
Okay,
man. All
listen.
these meaty
The
teams.
hype,
Let's talk about real
the
teams.
hype around Kendry Paez started after the match he had against Uruguay. Uruguay is not a shit team. They still have decent players, and they're still going to qualify for the World Cup this year. So listen, this kid's doing some stuff as a 16-year-old in a man's qualifying. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't U21s. This is big boys, CONMEBOL. Like, and I'm not gonna get hyped about it. Obviously, it's one thing, and you guys have said it to me before, and we all know it's one thing to do it at the international level, another thing to do it at the club level. I get it, but listen, at 16-year-old to be doing what he's doing, like I'm kind of excited to see what he can do at Chelsea. I don't know about you guys. And I think he's a winger. He's
Talking about
either a
those
winger
guys,
or cam.
He's a
He's
right
a winger.
winger.
He can play multiple positions, but at the end of the day,
Right
bro.
wing mainly, I'm pretty sure, right?
Oh,
Is Ahmed's
wait.
okay? I thought Ahmed's like frozen. No, stop for a second.
Ahmed
No,
got frozen for a
Ahmed's
second.
frozen. No,
You're
he
literally going to be seeing him
Oh, there we go.
until
There you go,
2025, bro. That's the so.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
until
Yeah,
then,
I'm not gonna see him for a while.
Let's just hold on.
I was gonna,
Yeah.
You know what I find funny though, like
My
'cause
guy.
there was like I think there's a clip of this young player,
He's Solano,
like,
man.
that this Kendry guy,
Newcastle
And,
legend.
You
and
don't know who he is, man.
basically, yeah, like Liverpool fans are watching this Kendry guy. Say, oh, we should sign this guy up, and Chelsea's already beat him to it already. Like Chelsea signed it. Every Chelsea fan say he doesn't know, like the dumb cunt. Man.
Yeah, hold that, Liverpool.
But I mean, am I the only one that is kind of like looking forward to seeing this guy and what he's going to do at Chelsea? Because
I mean,
it's for 16-year-olds. It is impressive.
I mean, like Ahmed said, it's going to be a damn while until we see him, but it looks good so far. So that's all we can say for now. Let's just assess it game by game from here, really, from the stuff that we do end up seeing in the highlights.
Yeah,
I
we'll speak
believe
in
he plays
2025,
as
bro.
a. I believe he plays as a number 8 at his club. What club was he again? Independiente? Am I
Wait, plays
wrong?
I thought he's a right winger
Independiente,
mainly.
yeah.
He does play as a number 8 in Independiente, but at
Oh.
Ecuador he's playing as a right winger.
That's gonna be
cam kinda role.
okay. If he wants to play in that midfield, that's gonna be so hard because you got Lavia, you got Caicedo, you got Enzo competing with. Like
Yeah.
those three are big midfielders in our team, like to compete with. You're gonna be competing with
But
Gallagher.
alternatively, Chris, even if he doesn't get in, we can flip him for money if there's really no room for him in the
or he
midfield.
can
And
play
that's where.
right wing. If he's good enough to play right wing, I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Well, yeah,
but we don't
you've
really
got-
have a right wing.
Well, yeah, you've got options there, and if he can't fit in anywhere, then like I said, he goes for a lot of money because he's a high potential talent.
Listen, man. At the end of the day, none of us really care until we see you in
Yeah.
2025. So let's just leave it until then, shall we?
Right, fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Don't-
watch a few of his highlights. That's about
Don't
it.
care FC. Don't care FC. That's who we are now. But listen,
Nah, like,
he's
some
doing
16-year-old,
good.
man.
People are hyping him up. Obviously, I'm not gonna go too overboard and say, no, this guy has to come into Chelsea. He has to start the team. You know, he has to lead the trenches. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna put this on this kid, but
He has to lead the what?
the trenches.
Trenches.
What trenches do we have in football? This is not NFL, big man.
Just
We
What
were
trenches
just
are
in
you
the
fighting?
trenches. We were just in the
Listen,
trenches.
no.
come
We
on,
just
bro.
came
This
out
is
of
not-
the trenches.
Yeah, I'm not in trench warfare at Chelsea. Okay, this is not.
We
trench
were
warfare.
Two
Where's the
3
no man's
games
land?
ago. Yes, we were.
We was
Fuck me,
trenches.
bro.
I can't.
We're not
Listen,
we're not gonna
it
fuck.
won't be
but like
long
actual
until.
trenches,
Listen,
man. We was
we're
covered.
not
This is
safe.
crazy,
Okay,
bro.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say we're okay.
I
We're challenging for the
understand
title.
it,
Yeah, we're very close to those trenches, yo. We just got out. We could go
Listen,
easily
man,
go back into
We
them.
ain't getting out. Marshall, in the trenches. We're looking up, see if there's anyone out there, like safety, and then we got Arsenal coming our way. We're gonna be hiding.
Yeah, we're right there in the mud with fucking United. We're still coming out of it. We're drying off. We just took a shower.
We nearly got out of those trenches, but then Scott
Yes.
McTominay, oh god,
Yeah,
how do they
jeez.
win that game?
It's that's football, man. That's football.
McSauce.
Oh
Excellent.
god.
But yeah, we'll see what happens with Kendry Paez. We'll be keeping an eye on him. But one of the players to look out for, along with our other player Angelo Gabriel, who's doing really well at or so far is doing good at Strasbourg. So we'll keep an eye on these guys. But hey, this is positive signs. So let's go on to the next topic. Let's talk about another youngster that Chelsea are scouting. I don't think we're signed them yet, but I'm going to read this for the first time along with you guys. So let's see. Chelsea are keeping an eye on Luis Guilherme and are interested. At the moment, there is no formal bid. They are keeping in contact to understand how much the deal will be. This is coming from Fabrizio Romano and Palmeiras player. Am I correct? Am I correct in saying that?
I don't know who the fuck that is.
We don't know who the hell this guy was. We didn't know who Kendry Paez was.
You don't want
Ahmed,
to.
do you know-
Looks like
do you know who this
Palmeiras'
guy
badge.
Huh?
Yeah, that does look like Palmeiras to me.
Palmeiras is bad. He's from Palmeiras.
Do you know
Is he
anything
good,
about
Ahmed?
this guy?
I have no idea on him. I'm afraid.
You know what? He's a
I don't
baller.
really- to be honest, at this point, man, I'm not doing any research on the Chelsea youngsters at this point. I'm just going.
There's too many to keep track, to be honest.
it's too
But
many
this
at
is
this
something
point.
I
We
wanted to
signed
drop.
so many young players. It's just lose. I don't know. I lose track. Of
I get why. Like I
Future,
understand. It's not.
I personally feel like we need to do the Needs needs to do what they did with Man City, where they just don't even talk about the youngsters that they buy at all, and we just leave it at that, because Man City buy a bunch of youngsters, but you just don't hear about the needs. Chelsea just need to do the same. Simple as that.
Keep on the low.
Yeah.
Not on the low. You can't keep on the low, but just like the newspaper guys need to realize these guys are not coming into the Chelsea team, so just literally just leave it be, man.
When you
You know
talk
what I mean?
about it when they actually come into Chelsea, yeah.
I get it, but at the same time, just for those who this whole youth model thing, I'm understanding it more and more as we do it. I think the idea. Well, obviously, in January, there are rumors that we're going to try to build with more experienced players. But I think the idea of it is very much like akin to what's happening in baseball. I'm not saying they're the same thing. And I'm not saying one mold is going to work for one, and then it's going to work for the other. But the idea is that, in baseball, when you recruit young and youthful talent, you can get some pretty talented kids for very low, and you can build a pretty solid team for not instant success, but for success within a bigger time frame. And so what Boley did with the Dodgers, from what I understand, is he started from the ground up. Yes, they weren't doing so great, but now that these players have developed, you got your Clayton Kershaw, who's one of the best pitchers in the MLB. He started off as a very young player. He wasn't good when he started, but now that he's established himself, just like some of these players will eventually establish themselves, hopefully, then they become one of the best in their positions in the world. And once you have a player like that, then you don't have to worry about getting a player like that. And then once you have that spine, you can continue doing the project and the formula that you're doing of recruiting young, and then eventually finding the players to replace those players when they're too old to perform in that set position. So I think the idea is to start. So we're starting from the ground up, getting these young players in, which I know we've all had our complaints about. Too young, we need more experience, and then eventually down the line, 2-3 years down the line, these players grow up and become the best in their position, and then we keep doing the same thing, and we have a self-feeding, almost self-correcting formula where we have a streamline of players that come in and out. They do their part, become the best in their position. We have one to replace them, and then we don't have to worry so much about spending loads of money, £100 million or £120 million on all these players that we see, the Osimhens, your Haalands, so on and so forth. So, listen, it may work in baseball. I've seen it done a few times, even when I was watching baseball all the way back in the day. Is it going to work in football? I don't know. It's something to be seen. You have. It's kind of what Dortmund does, but we've seen Dortmund doesn't have much success with that.
Because they have to sell when they become good, basically, in a way. That's the
yeah. But that's also like this is different because we're not a selling club. So
kind of are. If it's like a Real Madrid, what comes knocking or something, we are. But like for not any other club, no, really.
Yeah, I mean, we sell youth players in that sense, but we don't really sell starters like Borussia Dortmund does.
If it's like To Napoli and stuff like
Chelsea have rarely sold their starting players. The only players we have literally sold from our starting squad, the only players you ever scored from our starting squad is literally, if I'm not mistaken, of
Maatsen United, but that was a different reason.
Literally, before that, we sold, what's it called, Essien.
Yeah, that was a mess.
Yeah, remember? Yeah. Essien to Real Madrid. Obviously, we had Mata, and then the other one is literally, if I'm not mistaken,
Courtois and Eden Hazard.
Yeah, I remember both I think Courtois.
A little bit different.
You could make the argument. Courtois, again, he was forcing himself out of the club, and part of it was for some reason he decided to leave his family in Real Madrid for some reason, right? Literally Madrid for some reason. So, which is one of the reasons why.
Because he was at Atletico.
Yeah, he didn't even. But like, he's been at Chelsea for 4 to 5 years afterwards, and it's like, why did you just not bring them over with you?
Was it 4 to 5?
He did shit on our ground too.
Bro, he was literally
buildings above. Like, come on, man.
Remember, he came to the club at 2013. Remember?
Yeah.
And then he left in 2017.
He pushed.
But he came in 2013 and he went on loan.
No,
he went to loan
to Atletico Madrid. He built his family in Madrid. That's why they were there.
Right, yes, and the thing is, he did come back to 2015-16, right? So around that, it's around 15 something.
14-15 for the title win. Right.
Oh, right, yeah. Perchek got pushed out to Arsenal, and then he went off after like a few seasons later. That what pissed me off.
To be fair to Courtois as well, like, it's not just as simple as like pick up your things and move. Like sometimes school is a factor, whatever the wife or the family decide they want to do, where the rest of the family is, and it's just like it's not always so convenient as to just pick up your things and move. Everyone just come to London and stuff. So
that's fine,
I get it to a certain extent, but just the way he left the club.
He went away with it basically like a cunt. He didn't want to train or nothing. He literally basically forced to sell him like for 30 million. We were trying to sell him for like a good price, and then he just went to be a cunt and not just train. So we said, "Fuck it, just get rid of you."
Yeah, no, I get it. Obviously, that's not good.
Very good keeper, though. I was gonna say very good keeper.
To be honest, though,
like
BVB have been really shit. BVB is very shit. Ajax have been very, very, very shit. Like both of them are not doing well, by the way. Like they are doing quite bad this season.
Yeah, but
a lot
they've
of
had
teams,
multiple seasons of doing decent. Yeah.
The problem is that, especially I've said this before, like there will be a time where, like where you're not able to bring in the right guys, and that especially for teams that lose, they will set them back for like decades. And like you're seeing that obviously with what's happening with Ajax now, and if you do that, I would like really suggest a lot of us here do research on Ajax and the current situation, because it's very bad actually right now. Like the situation at Ajax is quite dire, and BVB, it could lead into a similar situation, I would say.
I mean, yes, they understand the business side of things. Like I was saying before with Chris, Dortmund's always been a club that sells their top players and then they rebuild again. Chelsea, I think, is a little bit of a different case where we have from time to time we do sell our top players to the right bidder, but it's a big contract. We saw the last one being excuse me. So the last one being Eden Hazard, for example.
Thank God. I thought he was gonna say Kai Havertz. I really thought he was gonna say that. No, last one being Eden Hazard. So we'll see what happens when it comes to our players, how they develop, and how we go about executing this youth project that we have. But let's move on to the next topic, guys. I did want to bring this up as well. Levi Colwill apparently in contention to win the Golden Boy Award, which is essentially a youth Ballon d'Or in a sense. Am I wrong in saying that?
Yeah, I'd say kind of.
Whatever you want to believe, bro. Whatever you want to believe, man.
Like
whatever.
Basically, it is basically the youth Ballon d'Or, but these players can still compete for the actual Ballon d'Or. Like it's not exclusive.
Gotcha.
He's just the best young player in the world. That's what it is.
Yeah, pretty much. And Colwill's not going to win it, but yeah.
He'll probably be better.
But it's nice that he's in
there.
I guess.
Probably Bellingham.
Sorry, Musiala.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's the thing, man. Once
I'm gonna read this list real quick. Just Jude Bellingham. We got Musiala on there. Xavi Simons, Antonio Silva, Alejandro Balde, Florian Wirtz, Benjamin Sesko, Giorgio Scalvini, Hoyland, and Colwell's on here. I think there's a
literally.
more
I'm
too.
gonna keep it 100% real. None of these guys are literally winning the trophy other than Bellingham, and like I feel like
Well,
it's
what
a
about
real
Musiala?
shame.
He did really well last year.
It's a real shame in my opinion that you have to just basically play for like a Spanish team in order for you to somehow win the Ballon d'Or. Like it's actually kind of getting a bit outrageous in my opinion. That it has to be only for one of those two.
But didn't Haaland win the Ballon
No,
d'Or?
Ronaldinho won in his season, no?
Yes.
No, he won it.
Yeah, Ronaldinho. Listen, I'm sorry, big up Lamps, but that's Ronaldinho, bro. That's the one guy.
But the goals and assists Lampard had that season was crazy.
Listen,
I know one
you can have the listen. Sometimes, bro, I understand this, but listen, he's facing.
How many assists did Ronaldinho had that season though?
Bro, Dino.
Not as much Lampard. Not as much Lampard. You go to it.
Oh my goodness.
What season? What year was this? By the way,
Super glazing, man.
It was.
This would be 2005, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be 2005.
Okay, it's a 2005.
05 Ballon d'Or, yeah.
He's won Lampard 20 and 20. Number one Lampard got 20 and 20 in the PL in the Premier League.
Okay,
Lampard's one of the few players that ever got 20 and 20. But even
I have seen it before, but I
know KDB by the way.
Yeah, I know KDB.
You know KDB has never gotten 20 and 20, by the way.
Nah. I thought he would have.
No player in
Ronaldinho's
Lampard's position has
stats.
ever gotten 20 goals and 20 assists in a season.
Before I will go on with it, I will say Ronaldinho is not a guy who just relies on GA though. That's a beautiful thing. But normally Ballon d'Or relies on goals and assists. How to win
Wait,
it.
so was 20 and 20 for Lampard that season? Was that all competitions?
I think it would be, yeah.
Does anyone remember?
I need to look. See, it's going back time. I haven't seen it in a long
Ballon
time.
d'Or nominee Lampard, 20 and 20. Was that all competitions?
No, that was in the Premier League alone.
Oh, wait, well, okay.
Okay, I mean, in La Liga that season, from what I'm seeing, Ronaldinho had 17 and 18, which isn't that bad.
But that's not including
Which
UCL,
isn't that Of course, that isn't that bad. But it's like, it's pretty good still.
But the thing is, we talk about 17-18 alone here, but look at the other stuff that he does. The way he plays, the style of play that he's playing against.
The
that's
impact
the thing
he makes on the pitch.
Sometimes that's the stuff that hurts you, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes down to it, and I will say this again and again and again, with this Golden Boy nomination, it has kind of become outrageous that you literally have to play for either Real Madrid or Barcelona for you to win. That has actually it's become a bit of a problem.
Oh, you're talking about this award specifically?
Not just not even this award. It can be the Ballon d'Or as well. We need to stop doing that. I'll be real.
I don't know how true that is though. Then
it is, bro. Have you seen the last? No, Haaland's never won the Ballon d'Or. What are you talking about?
Did he win it last season?
No, he didn't.
That was Messi.
Benzema won it last season.
Oh no, sorry, it was Benzema. Yeah.
Benzema.
So it was Benzema, Messi, and then it got cancelled in 2020. Who won it before that again? Was it Messi again?
I think it was Ronaldo that time.
Oh right, god damn.
Or Modric. Was it the Modric that time? Or was
Modric was what's that?
Yeah,
that was 2018.
In 05 to 06, yeah, Lampard had crazy, man. 20 goals, 12 assists, man. That's crazy good.
I'm looking at it now. 1 second. Give me a sec.
Yeah,
that's really
I'm
good.
checking it right now. Modric won in 2000.
So look, so Benzema won in 2022, Messi in 2021, and then Lionel Messi again in 2019. Modric won it in 2018. Ronaldo won it in 17 and 16. Messi in 15. Ronaldo in 14. Ronaldo in 13. Messi won it in 12, 11, 10, 9, and then Ronaldo won it in 08.
God, that's a disgrace.
And then
that's
Kaká
pretty crazy.
is the first guy that you literally see like one
AC
in
Milan.
07 AC Milan. But then remember Cannavaro, shout out to Cannavaro, legend. You know,
Inter,
won it
right?
at Real Madrid. He didn't even win it at his
Wow.
team. You know, I mean, back in Italy for some reason. Dino won it in Barca. Then Shevchenko won it 04 in Milan, and then Nedved won it at Juve, and then it was Ronaldo who won it again. This is R9 Ronaldo, by the way, yeah? He won it at Madrid. And then Michael Owen, one of the few times I've seen an English team won it in England for Liverpool.
He's the only English player this one.
Yeah, that's fair enough then. Figo won it at Madrid. Rivaldo, Barcelona, Zidane, Juve,
Now we're going
R9,
to the 80s now.
R9.
we get it.
No,
we
that's
get
in
it, we
97.
get it. We get
But the
it, we
point
get
I'm trying to
it.
make is that
Yeah.
Yes,
it
your
is
point has been
literally
proven.
nigh impossible
That's insane.
if you're not in the Spanish league for you to win it, and it's kind of
That's
crazy.
pretty
bro.
wild.
That 2010 one was a disgrace. How Wesley Schneider didn't win that. I'll always vouch for him in that one. He should have won that totally.
Yeah, Schneider had to win one of them, bro. He was cooking when he was at Inter, bro. Inter Schneider, even Galatasaray Schneider when he was with Drogba.
I can't lie, Benzema
Fuck
could
me.
have had a couple fair. Like, he's had really good years.
No,
where he
I'm
could've
sorry.
won.
Benzema could never have won a couple, I'll be real.
Now Benzema
No,
really
no,
hit his peak
no,
like
no,
late, like sort of more later around this time.
Benzema won his peak post Ronaldo.
Ronaldo left, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, no, people started. He was always very good with Ronaldo.
Yeah.
He was very
When
good,
Ronaldo
but, like-
No, but he
Ronaldo always outshined him.
You know,
the thing is, he really started peaking in like 2020, 2021, and since then.
The problem
I don't think it's really peak. I just think Ronaldo left, so he's not in Ronaldo's shadow. I think he's always
Exactly.
It's
been.
not just a shadow thing. It's I think
that's a
when
big part.
you're playing with Ronaldo, like you're
exactly.
also shackled. You're shackled. You're not able to release your full potential at all.
Yeah,
That's the
and
difference.
Ronaldo's got to score all the goals too, man. Like Ronaldo always.
It's
has to
not just
score.
about Ronaldo scoring all the
But
goals.
Ronaldo-
Like, he was
but
scoring.
Ronaldo
You know
quite
how
half
many
time to get past
Benzema
him.
scored? Benzema was
scored-
scoring 16 to 20 goals, bro.
Yeah,
on
he still
average
scored
per
goals.
season.
But
In
I
La
know,
Liga.
but I seen Ronaldo when he's like not having the ball and he just bitches at like his teammates if he doesn't get that opportunity every time. Even though they might have a good opportunity, he'd won it. because
Yeah,
he
but
won the
again,
goal.
Chris, what you're saying doesn't really matter because he was still getting 16 to 20 goals, bro. That's all it is. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know
and
what
that's
you're talking about,
okay,
bro.
No, but okay, that's that's the
Okay, but
thing.
Chris-
No, but that's the
but
thing I
Chris,
already
but,
said.
like-
Okay, doesn't that prove my point? Yeah, where he's always been in Ronaldo's shadow. That's why I think he's always been in his peak. But like, being that very
You
good.
cannot
anyway.
be. You cannot
Yeah,
be
he was
in
in
your.
Ronaldo's shadow.
1 second. No, 1 second. You cannot be in your peak every season, but when I was in your shadow, that doesn't make sense, bro.
No, but he's
This is
always.
true.
But for me, he's always just as good as 2020 or 2021 Benzema. Like he's always good as that. It's just like he did a little bit more.
I don't think so,
Ronaldo
bro.
again.
There was a season where there was a season or two where he really dipped in form.
He
Quite
might have
literally.
one bad season, but I think like
No.
he
It was a
does
season. He had like it was a back-to-back thing, and they were thinking about even selling him, bro.
When was this?
If I'm not mistaken, I think it was like just when Ronaldo actually left. When Ronaldo actually left, there was those 2 seasons where he was.
I
cooked,
remember the
bro.
season after for sure. Yeah, he was getting. Yeah, he wasn't that great.
And then like the end of the season where we won the ECL, that's when Benzema started coming
big
to
up,
life
Alex.
essentially, which was 2020, right?
2020-21, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I remember when going into that game, I was terrified of Benzema because like,
Exactly.
he'd been on a run.
He still
He'd been
did,
doing really well.
he still did a bit of damage to us fair.
Yeah, that goal he scored
Yeah.
where he chested it and just overhead. Oh, that was unbelievable.
It's a player I've always rated for many years because I've always loved watching Benzema. His technical ability, his link up, he can score goals. I felt like he can do a lot of stuff. I would have loved him at Chelsea. I would still probably love Benzema at Chelsea right now. Like I know he's gone to Saudi, so but yeah, it's a player I've always rated. I think he's been very good for many years. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, but like look, 2019, 2020, he had 5 and 2.
Yeah,
And,
I know we had a dip then around then, yeah.
Yeah, like he had like even 2018 to 2020 again, 4 and 2. So like he had this crazy dip, bro, between then. That's what I'm saying to you. So like there was like two back-to-back seasons where he literally just went.
Maybe he needed
So,
just
like,
about
it's-
Ronaldo, or he just needed Vinny to like start becoming really good. I don't know. Maybe a bit of Vinny becoming really good helped because he does need a winger like a come off.
Problem with him as well is with Benzema, he got banished from the national team, didn't he, because of the scandal? So he didn't even have any international football to like back him up or anything.
No,
Yeah, I can't lie to you,
Wait,
man.
Marsh, you
He
talking?
was moving. No, he's not. He was moving mad.
no, we don't hear you,
No,
Marshall. No volume for Marshall.
Check. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
No wonder.
Listen, God
Yeah.
of Frogs, man. Listen, God of Frogs, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not my fault that, the man them can't handle me, you know what I'm saying? When I'm playing real FIFA, when I'm playing real peaks, you know what I mean? When I'm playing the Hezzy team, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? When
Big
I'm
up God
cooking,
of Frogs.
they can't beat me, man. You know what I'm saying? Listen, legendary. I was facing legendary guys. Yeah, and I was cooking.
Yeah.
Chukwemeka. I was playing with literally Chukwemeka in my team.
man.
I was playing with Cole Palmer, unusable card, silver card in my team. Mudryk, silver card. Nicholas Jackson in the game is actually unusable.
I don't know. He played
Lavia, I was playing, and Uguchukwu, Gusto, and Ian Maatsen, yeah, and Kukurea as my centre back because I was doing a preseason match.
What the hell?
Yeah,
fucking
so
criminal,
like
bruv.
it was that bad, bro. It was that bad, man.
Oh my gosh.
Listen, you can check the
All right,
statistics,
we
man.
move. we move. But
Yeah, it's not a lot of crying, man.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that Golden Boy Award. We went off on a tangent on that one. Jesus Christ! But I mean, it's always good to discuss football. And you know, good take here. Honestly, who said it? Gazer, we forgot about this one. Lewandowski.
Oh, yeah.
2020.
It didn't happen in 2020.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, but
stupid that it didn't happen,
yeah,
but he should have.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
It's dumb.
it didn't happen at all. So you can't even say.
The pandemic, yeah.
But why can't you just give it to him? They still played.
No, but
football.
it's that's a completely different argument. Saying that he should have won it implies like, oh, someone else won it that didn't deserve it. No, no one won
I
it.
don't think he's still applying that. Though. It
We
may
should have
may
had the
feel that
award, and
way.
he should have.
I agree, it should have gone ahead, but you can't say he should have won it because
but
no
that's
one
what
won
I
it in the
think what
first
he's saying.
place.
Sure.
That's what he's. I think that's what he's saying. It should have gone ahead.
Yeah, I know. I'm just.
If they're still playing football, why not have the award? I don't understand. Like what?
I don't know. They need to answer that.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, no, it doesn't. I agree though. But let's move on to the next topic, guys, because we do have a. I expect this to be a quick show. We're almost an hour in, and we're not even halfway through the topics. Like, what the fuck? We only got through 3, but that's good because
what
you know,
international break does to us, man. We
international break. We just want to talk about football and give you guys entertainment. So, big up to you guys if you have been watching so far. Be sure to smash up the like button. But let's go on to the next topic, which is something that I think you guys in the UK are going to appreciate. Essentially, potentially, no more blackouts. Here we go. Big up to this. So let's see what this is about. So we got one tweet in regards to this. Sources close to Chelsea have revealed owners Todd Boehly and Clear Lake Capital are among those in favor of ending the 3 p.m. blackout. They believe there are opportunities to increase broadcast revenue and, in turn, value of their clubs as assets. Chris, I'll have you start this off because you're very adamant about this.
It's a joke how the Premier League, well, the English people, the British people don't get 3 p.m. kickoffs. Like we pay a lot of money, like 60. If you're paying for BT, if you're buying BT and Sky Sports, it's around £60 a month, and you don't even get to watch every game. It's just a
You
joke.
have Amazon Prime for some as well, don't you?
You do, yeah. Amazon Prime show the Christmas time. It's kind of nice like that, but like, yeah, it's a completely joke. Like, it's an old way of thinking, just keeping this way. Like, oh, they don't go to the games. Yes, they do go to the games. There's millions of fans. Like, they always buy the tickets to go to the game. It's a different experience going to a football game, so you're always going to get that. Like, and a lot of people who can't go to games, like for example, like London's very far to me. I've only been to Stamford Bridge once, and yeah, like it's quite far. So I watch a lot of football on TV. I do go to a few away games, but like yeah, it's a joke like how they don't actually get to watch the games at 3 p.m. I don't understand it.
You're not a real fan if you're not going to Stamford Bridge, bro. You know what I'm saying?
But like it's long. It's long.
I'm winking. I'm literally winking, bro.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I can watch Chelsea from a far away. Like, there we go. That's why I have it.
Chris, I'm winking. Do you know what
I know, yeah, I know, yes. You're winking, you're being sarcastic, you're joking, I know.
All right,
you're doing that proper Chelsea like slang, like, oh, you're not proper Chelsea. Yeah.
Okay, let's just
I'm not sure what you guys
think. Listen, the thing is, this 3 p.m. blackout cannot end until 2029, so I don't know why people are like asking for this. Like, it's the 3 p.m. blackout is up until 2029, so you still got a long way to go in order for this to happen. Actually,
I didn't even know you gave me bad news. I didn't even know it was that long.
I think they're just saying that they don't want it to continue beyond that point. They're not going to, they're not going to be in favour of any sort of proposal to extend that beyond 2029.
Part of the problem is, I think the streaming rights, or whatever it's called, or even the TV rights, then I think for Sky, which is the first, and like BT, Sky and BT, because those are the two that do it, and Amazon Prime, I think ending 2024, 25.
They got Champions League on about that, because I've seen that.
No, so that's 2 seasons away, essentially, in the Premier League. So we're probably going to be finding out towards the beginning of January or towards that end of period whether or not that's going to happen. Now, we know that apparently Apple are trying to buy the Premier League rights completely outright for the whole thingy. I wouldn't be surprised if Amazon, because of like what they're doing now in the US and what they've tried to do now, the Premier League, if they try to do like a major player move and try to outright buy the Premier League rights completely themselves. And the thing of TNT is that, or formerly called BT, is that I don't think they have enough cash flow in order for them to do that. And I also think that Sky is in a precarious position because of like the prices they've been putting up for their football games to be able to be watched.
It's a joke since they don't have 3 p.m. kickoffs.
Yeah. And so people I don't think are interested in buying it. So, or alternatively, I don't know if you guys do this, but in Asia, there's certain parts in Asia like Indonesia and Malaysia where they've got the Premier League app, which is run by the actual Premier League, where you can go and watch games over there.
Every game, a lot cheaper probably as well.
Exactly.
It's a joke.
You got BN that streams Premier League as well, don't you?
Yeah, but I think that's more so Middle East and like.
Yeah.
The day Premier League and all these sports like all football leave Sky and even BT is the day that I think their channels basically die. Like especially Sky. I think BT survived, but Sky, I think Sky dies.
Yeah, I've got no hope for Sky anyway. When they did that damn pay-per-view model, that was the worst thing I have ever seen in my entire life when it comes to like showing sports on TV. That who's going to watch some of those?
Yeah,
they were charging $15.99 for some of these games for dead games. Oh my god!
I remember when it was it Burnley versus Leeds? I think was one of the games. Like no
yeah,
one that
$15.99. Oh my god!
Ridiculous, bro. It's actually like crazy, man.
And it's every week, so it's gonna be costing a lot if you're paying that.
And the problem is, like, I think it costs right now. It costs like 25 or 35 quid per month to be able to watch it.
It's costing
like, to watch the Premier League, from like Sky, and that's too much money, bro. I'll be real. You know, like to watch League 1 games, bro. I can watch it for BT for like something like £10 a month.
Ahmed as well, like other countries like in Europe or America, it costs them I think between £10 a month as well to watch a lot of Premier League games and Champions League games. If I'm correct, Marshall, it doesn't really cost you like Peacock and all that. You can watch on Peacock or whatever platform you watch it on. Like a lot of people have it cheap. It's just the UK just gets ripped off. We get ripped off like big time with these TV things, and no wonder a lot of people do it illegally. I have nothing against people doing it illegally because like it's stupid money. In all fairness.
The Premier League themselves, they know that they're losing money, by the way, because of it was like something that was brought up recently that was very big news in like one of the major articles that they know they're losing like millions of pounds for illegal streaming. So if you know that and you know the reason behind it, you have to address the issue, bro. And like Sky's not helping them out. I'll be real. Sky's not helping them out at all. Like, who are they killing themselves?
What God of Fox said last though, that's 100%, man. It's very hard to get an away game as well. Like that's why I watch a lot of TV. It's just very hard. I get it through friends sometimes as well. Like that's how I do it sometimes.
I mean, that's how we do it on Discord, essentially.
Yeah. Like a friend, we can give
quick nudge. Exactly. But yeah, I hope it ends because it's just these broadcasting rights. It's all messed up, and you know, as much we're all football fans, you want to see as much football as possible. But when you do it this way, listen, if the Premier League wants to make more money, I think broadcasting is going to be the way to go. And if you make it easier, accessible, you got more people that are going to watch. Like, I get why they split up the whole streaming services. It makes sense in a money perspective. It's just not convenient for the consumer. But it doesn't matter if like you can't watch the games. So, or all the games in one day. You have to, there's 5 games at the same time. You have to decide which one to watch. It's just ridiculous. So it's an old model. I think they do need to change it. But like Ahmed said, if this is going to go on until 2029, I believe you said, then fuck. It sucks. So maybe we could get out of that sooner. Who knows? Maybe loophole FC. You never know. But I'm
off anyway. I'll just let you know actually since you get the next topic. But yeah, I'm gonna say fuck Sky Sports anyway, man. They can fuck themselves. Hopefully they rot.
Peace. All right. All right, Chris. But all right, let's go on to the next topic that I wanted to bring up, which is some sponsorship news, some things related to the new sponsorship, as well as some departing sponsorships. So let's start off with the first piece of news that I have here in regards to this. Infinite Athlete boss Charlie Ebersol on choosing to sponsor Chelsea. It was a very easy decision to choose Chelsea. Look at the investment they've made in the academies, the type of investment they've made in scouting, the type of investment they made on understanding of value players. It's remarkable. All right, you're glazing, bro. They went from just about the oldest team in the Premier League to youngest. If you look at their expected points in every match, they are the only team in the entire Premier League who had a higher expected points in every match. Is there more here? Okay, let me just continue on. Next tweet. Athlete boss Charlie Ebersol on Todd Bowley. Take when Todd bought the Los Angeles Dodgers in professional baseball in 2012. The Dodgers had atrophied to the point of not being able to do anything. Now they're perennial playoff contenders. They're constantly in the conversation for the World Series. He's not looking at 3, 6, 9 months increments at Chelsea. He's looking at decades of ownership. I've always appreciated that about him. Okay, that's pretty much what I was saying earlier about how he's going about modeling. But yeah, so, Infinite Athlete, respect what Chelsea are doing. Made it an easy decision for them to sponsor us. Trivago will not extend a 3-year deal with Chelsea as a training kit sponsor, which sad to see them go. Considering how they stuck by us even after the whole Roman Abramovich Russian sanctions drama, when all our sponsors wanted to basically leave us. But continuing on from this, we also have Riyadh Air is still the most serious candidate to replace Infinite Athlete next season. The club is exploring the possibilities of signing a deal with a sleeve sponsor. Signing an agreement with Riyadh Air as a shirt sponsor, men, women, and academy teams will result in the termination of the global agreement with Oman Air due to the exit clause. Expectations are up to £60 million a year if they qualify for Champions League, which I believe we knew about that. But yeah, so we got Trivago leaving, Infinite Athlete, why they're here and why they chose us, and then Riyadh Air essentially becoming the next contender to be the main sponsor. And then I think if I've read correctly, if they become the main shirt sponsor, then Infinite Athlete moves to become a sleeve sponsor, and we're still looking for the alternate sleeve sponsor. But guys, any opinions on this? Good news? Sad news? Trivago leaving as well?
No, I'll be honest, no, not really.
Okay. I mean, it's good, but I mean, it is a little bit of sweet with
Let's get to
Trivago.
a juicy topic, man. There's one juicy topic that we know that we can talk about for a whole hour. Can we just get to that, please?
Can you type to me what that is actually? Because I'm actually really curious what you're talking
He's
about.
got the same skin color as me. That's simple as that, man. Okay, Oliver.
Okay.
The fact that he didn't get that is crazy.
No, I'm not. Him, yeah.
Okay, I see where we're going. Okay. Oh yeah.
I mean, that was definitely a way of putting it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I figured it out. I figured it out, but we'll see. But yeah, I mean, listen, I'm a little upset Trivago's not staying. But hey, we're getting new sponsors finally. We're rolling it in, and hopefully we find an alternate sleeve sponsor soon. But yeah, I mean, unless you guys have anything to say to this, we can just move on to the next topic.
I'll just say one quick thing, just for anyone that might want to, any rivals as well that want to complain, we're getting, isn't Riyadh like a Saudi airline, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, anyone that wants to complain about that, let me just remind you guys that Newcastle literally sponsored themselves through a PIF-owned events company. So they literally sponsored them.
Do you guys know what Riyadh's the capital of?
No.
Saudi Arabia.
I just said that, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. My bad, bro.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, for anyone that wants to complain, I'm just reminding you that Newcastle sponsored themselves. So I don't care about like ethics or righteousness or fair play. I don't care, man, because those guys, literally, Manchester City are being investigated for for inflating their books right now, and at the same time, Newcastle have just walked in with this new sponsor. I don't care.
It wouldn't surprise me that because I were originally our sleeve sponsor, so it wouldn't surprise me if they become the sleeve sponsor afterwards, and then I think he becomes the main sponsor.
Well, who's that? Infinite Athlete?
Yeah, Infinite Athlete.
Because before that, they were called something else. Remember?
Yeah, I mean, thing is that they do have Infinite Athlete do have a deal that extends beyond just the sponsorship this season. I believe that actually, Cobham's going to use some of their equipment. if I'm not mistaken. They have
No,
some
all of the players and everyone else is using their equipment right now for injury purposes to make sure that they're not injured.
Oh well, hopefully that helps us out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On the injury front.
Oh well, on the injury front, actually, let's talk about what Poch had to say about injuries, and let's look at what's going on with our current injury situation. Because there's a list. You know what's crazy? We get some players back, and then we add players to the injury list. So, and I'm getting quite tired of it. But let's read up about this, and we'll progress our way to I think what Ahmed's trying to talk about. So let's go ahead and continue on here. Mauricio Pochettino is now going to have an impact on internal decisions at Chelsea. It already started this summer with him saying no to Dusan Vlahovic. He will now have some power to sign players in January and next summer with the board. Continuing forward, Mauricio Pochettino. We have many players injured, key players who cannot compete and train with us. That is so important. You can see how different it is for a club like Manchester City, how affected they are when there is no Rodri or Kevin De Bruyne, and that's only 2 players. For us, we miss many key players that can help us develop and improve the team faster. Yes, in this way, when we recover all the players for sure, we will be ready to compete for big things. Even now, we need to believe that we can compete for big things despite the circumstances. That is Poch saying that in an interview. And then we have here, Premier League injury list. We look at Chelsea, pretty much 12 injuries, the most in the Premier League. And we have Crystal Palace just right behind us with 11, which, stinks for Crystal Palace. But, it's overall, I think the league in general is being highly impacted by just injuries. It's injury plague. You got 9 in Brentford United, Sheffield United, Forest. Like it's pretty annoying. And it does affect the team. Regardless of what Poch said, though, I feel like that's not an excuse for losing to Nottingham Forest and not being able to get results where you're supposed to get results. But we move. Let's go ahead and discuss some of these players that are actually injured. So Chelsea now faces an anxious wait to learn the full extent of Axel Disasi's problem. He has been managing a thigh issue and may have aggravated the problem in Saturday's win against Burnley. He competed a full 90 minutes at Turf Moor, but subsequent scans at Chelsea showed a tear in the quadricep on the left thigh. According to French Football Federation, that's from Nazar Cancela. Ahmed, I swear to God, bro, if you don't shut the fuck up.
What did I do? I'm just sleeping, bro. I'm just sleeping.
This guy,
sleep, man.
this man, Nicholas Jackson has stayed in London for the international break after undergoing a minor operation on his wrist. I understand he is expected to be fit for the visit to Arsenal October 21st. He hurt his wrist during Brighton, I believe. Yeah. So we move. Then U21 boss Lee Carsley. There are a few bumps and bruises, and we will monitor Cole Palmer, but we will not be taking any chances. It's a dead leg. So he got pulled off of the game for injury. Apparently it is just a dead leg. Lee Carsley reveals Cole Palmer will not travel with England U21s to Slovakia to face Ukraine tomorrow night. He has returned to Chelsea after picking up a dead leg in the right quad during the 9-1 victory over Serbia Thursday. Decided not to risk him. Then Broja, Albania coach Silvino confirms Broja is not fit to face Czech Republic. As for Broja, I have to give bad news. He was with the team for only 2 days. After consulting with our doctors in Chelsea's, he can't make it. He won't be ready for tomorrow. We have other players to evaluate. Which this one kind of surprises me considering he was playing for Chelsea. Armando Broja has returned to Chelsea's training ground after a brief spell with the Albanian national team. Chelsea are keen to manage his fitness as they build up Arsenal's visit to Stamford Bridge on Saturday. And then James, last one here. It is too early to determine whether Reece James will be fit enough to take any part against Arsenal in Chelsea's first game after the international break. Lots of injuries. Is Poch kind of, is he kind of cooking when he says that the team is greatly affected? Do you guys kind of agree with that?
Bro, 3 of these guys are all going to be fit for the game that we're going to be facing on Saturday. So who are we kidding?
Which 3?
Broja is going to be fit for us literally on Saturday.
Maybe, yeah. Okay.
No. He's pretty much fit. The reason why he's not playing for Albania is because I think the level of required fitness and sharpness is just not going to be ready for him for that game. So that's all it is. From what we're hearing, Cole Palmer apparently was already playing, But apparently, this is what it's interesting by giving him game time because apparently they were showing training stuff recently where he was actually playing, and dead leg usually means nothing because you can come back from it within like 3 to 4 days. So he's not played since then. He's probably going to be back already for us to play. Same with the first one, Disasi. Disasi literally has had 2 weeks to relax and do some light training, and he'll be back to play against Arsenal.
I just want to comment on
with the Disasi.
I want to comment on that quickly. There is no way Disasi tore his quad. He didn't last time. Tearing a quad like that is like you can't put weight on it. To my recollection, he did not walk off the pitch with aid. You know, he walked off unaided. I don't know how he could have torn his quad there.
He didn't tore his quad. No one has said he's tore his quad. Literally, there's not even been the need.
That's what the tweet said.
The tweet just said.
What did it see? Let me repeat that. Let's see the tweet. It's
all right, give me a
precautionary.
minute. I have to hold on.
There has
Right,
to be.
continue
But
discussing though. Like, yeah.
there is no way Disasi has tore his quad. If Disasi had tore his quad, there would have been a major alarm bells ring within the whole fan base if that was true.
I mean, he would have literally been helped off the pitch. He walked off by himself. Unless he's like tough as nails, which he probably is. But like, even for the toughest people, that is just something you can't walk on.
Bro, this
This is according This is according to
like,
Nazar
this
Kinsella.
is-
I pulled it up right now. Hold on. Just
because
I got it.
Nathan Gislin literally reported that Disasi's injury is nothing serious and is nothing more of a precaution after undergoing a scan.
So this is what the original tweet that Nazar Kinsella reported. Chelsea now faces an anxious wait to learn the full extent of actual Disasi's problem. This was on the 10th, so 5 days ago. He's been managing a thigh issue. He completed full 90, but subsequent scans at Chelsea show a tear in the quadricep of the left thigh, according to the French Football Federation.
A tear. So you know what that means? That is very, very minor tear. That means you just need to rest.
Could be minor,
essentially.
could be major. You know,
Because the reason, if it was major, he would have had surgeries happening, or he would have been out for 2 months. They would have just released that straight away. Like the way that Chelsea have been talking about injuries, they literally would be reporting that straight away, bro. There would be literally no doubt in our minds.
Yeah. No news on Badiashile.
Badiashile apparently is back.
He's just training, but
Yeah.
no one has confirmed that he's ready to play yet. There's no set date for his return. But I mean, Nazar might be capping. It is very
This
possible.
because the thing is, Gisling reported at 8:19 p.m. and this was reported in the morning because he said Disasi's injury is nothing serious and is more of a precaution after undergoing a scan. So his thing is, they're both saying they were undergoing a scan. He said it's precautionary just to let him, relax and let that tear heal by itself. I'm assuming that's all it is.
I mean, potentially.
Genuinely, because believe me, if he was not playing, the Chelsea would be ringing alarm bells right now because they would be like, okay, we don't have anyone to play in that position. Literally.
But
I mean, I was going to get onto that because I don't think a lot of this really affects the Arsenal game. So
yeah.
let's just look at some of the players. So Reece James, whether he's fit or not, we don't need to risk that. We've got Gusto coming back from suspension. He'll be fine. He went with France, so he's fit. In terms of other players, Disasi, if he's not fit to play, and that's if he's not fit to play, we have Silva and Colwill that can take up the centre-back roles, and you just move Cucurella to left-back, and that's sorted. Who else? You got Brozier and Jackson. Well, only one of them's going to start, so
Jackson's
you only
only
need
a hand injury, by the way. So like he can.
Yeah, I know. Jackson. Yeah. That's what I mean. He played through that anyway against Burnley. So.
Oh, I know who you're talking about now. I just realized. Okay. Go on. I just realized who you were talking about.
I was just saying, with those two strikers, you only need one of them to play against Arsenal. So, it doesn't really matter. We're fine for Arsenal. None of these things really affect things. Like you'd obviously want a Badiashile in the team, but like we're not in a crisis right now. We have the players to give them a game at the very least.
Wow, it took you that long.
I thought you meant the one in Napoli. That's what I thought you meant.
Wow, that is. I'm disappointed in you, bro.
Listen, man, I had a lot of drinking last night, so my brain's not there. But yeah, listen, doesn't seem like the injuries are that bad. The only one that seems pretty bad is potentially Disasi. We'll see what happens. Is it a tear? Is it a strain? Is it just
the problem
discomfort?
is the problem is, Marshall. Again, I heard this before. If it was a tear and it was a major problem, and then you're going to be out for at least, because whenever something's like a tear, it usually means you're out for a month. Like the club would be You've seen what the club have done. Club injury statement, like Reece James, all of these guys, Chukwemeka, they will release the statement straight away and just let you know he's out for a month. That's why for me, that's why for me it makes more sense that it's just a precaution. They're just letting him relax, do the light training, and then he'll go back to full training this week, and then he'll be playing against Arsenal. That's all it is, bro.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I hope you're right. So let's move on to the next topic before we go to the one that Ahmed wants to talk about that I just figured out. So, well, Ahmed, you might actually want to talk about this one too, to be honest. Gallagher impressing. Listen, we have some stats to show on Conor Gallagher, and listen, I know last time we brought this guy up, we did discuss him, and there was a little bit of a debate on him between me and Winter Surfer, but I think now there's a few things coming out that are kind of proving where I was going with this guy. Whether he's good enough for Chelsea, we'll see in the long run, but I don't think he's been bad necessarily. So let's read this first stat here. No player has won possession in the final third more times than Conor Gallagher in the Premier League this season. Now listen, I know I remember the amount of times we've had these kind of single, isolated stats with Mason Mount often. And I do want to point that out as well. Like, you have to take into context other stats and performances on the pitch and all that stuff. But I think with this stat in particular, I think this is a pretty impressive stat when you look at it just by itself, isolated. So winning possession in the final third, dispossessing and initiating counters essentially are dangerous chances to create goal scoring scenarios. I think this is a pretty important stat and a key stat at that. So Gallagher leading that, I think that's an impressive stat. So the other stat that Conor Gallagher had here is this one right here. Conor Gallagher ranks behind only Paulinho for true tackles, a combination of tackles won, tackles lost, and fouls committed while attempting a tackle per 1,000 opposition touches in 2023-2024, while Caicedo is also in the top 10. So we have Caicedo here at 8.9 and Conor Gallagher at 10.9. This is coming from The Athletic. Listen, say what you want about Conor Gallagher. He's improved a lot this season in comparison to last season. I think a lot of the fan base need to let go of this idea that Conor Gallagher is the same Gallagher as last year. Like, I get it. I get Gallagher last season, not good enough. I get it. And even this season, arguably, is he in our best midfield? Probably not. I think I still want to see Lavia and how he performs and if he can do a role in that midfield as well. But you got to give credit where credit is due. And that's something that I pride myself on. I give credit where credit is due. And I try to be honest about the assessment of these players. And if they're playing shit, I call it out. And if they're doing decently, even Mason Mount last season had some shit performances or had some good performances despite the amount of shit ones, I give credit where credit is due. And I got to give credit to Conor Gallagher. He's exceeded a lot of people's expectations, I think, this season. What do you guys think?
Conor Gallagher, I think he's been pretty good so far. I'll be honest. He's been playing all right at the end of the day. He's been doing a good job, and it's really simple as that. I think he's doing. I think this is what I think Tuchel probably saw in him when he was making this like quotation about him being like a Kante type of player, in the fact that he can. You know what I'm saying? But the thing for me is, do you necessarily need him in the starting squad? I always make this point where, do I need him in the starting 11 right now? Because recently, as you've seen with both Caicedo and Enzo, the way they've been playing, they're playing so well that it's as the pivot that I'm not really sure how much he adds to the starting 11. That makes sense. Because
the real debate is in the 10 role, really.
Exactly my point. Because the thing is, I don't necessarily need a defensive 10. That's what
I mean. I remember. I don't know if you guys remember. I did discuss there's gonna be a selection headache with Poch now, and I think going forward, it's gonna have to be tactically designed. Obviously,
the problem is, I'll be honest with you, Marshall. He's starting, I think, against Arsenal. There's no doubt about that. I think we're still going to see him midfield against Arsenal because of the fact of because of that. But when Nkunku comes back, or when Nkunku comes back, are you seriously going to tell me he's going to drop Mudryk for Nkunku for the left wing?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying to you.
That's
Like, he's not
potentially.
Cole Palmer, but if he does that, bro, then literally, what's the point of being playing Mudryk for the last 6 months then? Because then what? So are we seriously just going to be like we need Gallagher, but what? But just because of defense, like we for me the problem becomes we can't just rely on 3 guys up front. You know what I'm saying? It's not just no team relies on just 3 guys up front.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, and Oliver, I'd like to see what you think of this. Like, I think when it comes to which team we're going to be performing against, then Poch has to think tactically what player best suits to counter this team. Against Arsenal, is Conor Gallagher the right option to go for that
Probably
will
yes.
tactically neutralize our Arsenal?
Yes. That I hate to. I'll be honest with you. You probably want to go for that 3 against Arsenal. Like the thing
Oliver,
for
what do
me
you
is,
think?
I would have
Okay, go
provided. The problem is, I would have probably wanted Palmer to play in that 10 role. You have Sterling on the left, and then on the right, and then you have what's it called, Mudryk on the left, right? That would be the ideal situation, and Nicola Jackson up front. But the problem that we're gonna have at Chelsea, and I'm already sniffing this about is that once Nkunku comes in, you have to drop Gallagher, in my opinion. You have to.
Well,
Because-
I agree.
Because
but
then you can't just have someone they've been built up for the last 6 months to become as good as he has. And if Mudryk continues on his trajectory to do really well, you can't really drop that guy at that point on the left wing because he's essentially becoming like a mainstay there. And it would be wrong of us just because Nkunku's come back. Let's throw
But
Mudryk to the
this
bench.
is what I'm going to say, and then I would like to hear what Oliver has to say. When it comes to against Arsenal, I don't know if Gallagher is the best suited against Declan Rice, because we're talking about the number 10 position. I think it's given that we have to have Enzo and Caicedo on pivot. It's been working for us. It's been doing really well, and Poch is finally doing it, and we're getting results out of it. But when it comes to number 10 position, I feel like when you're up against Declan Rice, it might be Gallagher. I think the right decision would be Cole Palmer if he's fit, which I think he will be.
But we're talking about what we think Poch will do. We think Poch will go Gallagher.
What do you think is the right decision? I think Poch will go Gallagher. Is the right decision Gallagher though for this game? I think it has to be Palmer because Palmer can keep possession. And I'm worried about a Declan Rice that will dispossess you if you don't do a good job of keeping it, which Gallagher is known to not be the very best at keeping possession.
But does that necessarily matter, bro?
Well, let's see what Oliver has to say.
I mean, I'm sure my preference is clear. You know, I'm always going to prefer a Cole Palmer, like a natural attacking 10 over Gallagher. But at the same time, I'm not going to dig out Gallagher. Like, as much as I'd like him dropped in the long term, he isn't really detracting from our team, if you know what I mean. And I've liked him when he's been moved into this number 10 role because it doesn't have him doing all the deep build-up stuff that he just gets caught on the ball with. And, like, you mentioned the stat earlier with the most possession won in the final third. There is a difference between that and Mason Mount because, like, the problem with Mount and Havertz to an extent as well was they would just, like, passion press and run around. They'd look busy without actually doing anything. They just run a lot. Gallagher's winning the ball back. And if you remember, like, early Thomas Tuchel era, like, when our press was creating chances, and that's literally, like, what Jurgen Klopp builds on his philosophy around. You know, he literally said that, like, you know, pressing is the best playmaker. It does create chances, and we saw it even happen against Fulham, where Palmer won the ball in the final third, and we scored the second goal against Fulham because of that. So, you know, these are important things, and if we can improve, you know, it's great that Gallagher's doing it on his own. If we can improve as a team, you know, if Palmer can do that, you know, keep doing that, then we're good.
Well, that's the thing, though. Gallagher isn't doing it on his own. Caicedo's also doing it as well. Caicedo's on that very same list. So
I mean, that was just tackles in general. I'm talking about final third, but
yeah, you're right.
But no, it's impressive what Caicedo's doing. You know, he's like I've been saying in the match reviews, he's really starting to come out of his shell, starting to really get over the first 2 poor performances. So, you know, I'm starting to hear less and less about the price tag. So, you know, onwards and upwards for him, I guess. You know.
The
I don't know if
problem
you're
for
trolling
me
God of
is,
France, but Carney's injured, obviously.
the problem, like, I'm going to continue this on there. I don't think necessarily, let me bring my face back up. I think the problem for me is not necessarily that Gallagher started against Arsenal, because at Arsenal, you probably want a lot more of allowing Enzo to be a bit more creative, per se. And then, you know, how shall I say, who's the other guy that we're talking about here? Gallagher and Caicedo are all doing the job of like controlling that midfield pass, if that makes sense, where they're able to, go man to man against like what was it called, a Rice and whoever else would be in that midfield. Because usually it might be like maybe I don't think it'll be Partey, but it'll be like
Havertz and Odegaard, right?
No, Havertz and Odegaard. Like you want Enzo to be facing Enzo or like Enzo that, and then there'll be like Rice and someone else that will be in that midfield as well. They want to be facing. That's all it is. You're going to be able to like get your midfield to be man to man against them.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be that Arsenal game is going to be a tough lineup to choose. Like I said, personally, I don't see Gallagher being dropped because it seems like Poch really, really trusts the kid. And I'll be honest too, like he has been improving game by game. Like I know offensively he hasn't been very good on the ball. But he's been improving on that aspect as well. I think, does he have 2 assists this season?
We got the assist for Sterling against.
He's got 1 assist so far this season, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I think it's only 1, if I'm not mistaken.
I know
the
there should have been
Sterling
one
against Burnley.
There's 1, and then I remember he should have gotten an assist for Sterling that one game where he just
against Villa, I think it was, right?
Yeah, against Villa, but I can't remember what the other one. But yeah, I mean, listen. You guys already know. I think this guy's better than Mason Mount. He's being effective in the dispossessing of the final third, and I can see why he's been playing in the team. So, respect to Gallagher. Let's see if he keeps improving. I hope he does, and I hope he just gives Poch a very big selection headache. But we'll see. It all depends on him, and if he puts his head down and keeps working hard and keeps doing what he's doing best, which is, the off the ball stuff, dispossessing, and improve on the ball stuff as well. But we'll see what happens. That is a possibility. It's going to be interesting what Poch does. That's the thing. It's going to be very interesting what Poch does. But let's go on to the next big topic. And before we do this, ladies and gents, if you haven't done so already, be sure to smash up the like button. It does help out the channel tremendously. But let's go on and discuss the big elephant in the room. He's definitely big. So let's talk about this clown. All right. Can't believe we're bringing him up again. But this guy just likes to be the center of attention. We love.
But he doesn't like to talk, though, right?
Yeah, apparently.
I thought he doesn't like to talk.
Apparently, yeah. So let's get into it. All right, this guy is this guy. All right, Romelu Lukaku. This is your moment of spotlight that you wanted. Okay, Romelu Lukaku. When I tell you how the approach to the Champions League final was, you will understand why I wasn't there with my mind. If I told you how things really went with Inter, you would be shocked. One day you will understand. Bro, just say it, okay? Well, okay, we continue. Romelu Lukaku on the summer transfer window. Most of the people here in the room know me. I don't like beating around the bush. I'll speak in time. But if I actually said how last summer went, everyone would be shocked. There were times when I really thought I might explode. 5 years ago, I probably wouldn't have stood back and done it. Lukaku, I have to wait for the right moment. You all know me. When I speak, I don't go around the pot. Then I don't do politics. I know what has been going on behind the scenes, but when I tell my story, I want everyone to shut the fuck up. I want everyone to listen to my point of view for once, and nothing is taken out of context. The time is not yet right for that. We are all good. We're all good in a group. We are in a good groove. At Roma, we won the last 3 matches, and I left with good vibes for the national team. It is also an important week, but I read so much bullshit. I had supposedly told myself I was going to a certain club, but that didn't make sense. Inter, okay. All right. Wait. Hold on. What is this tweet? This tweet. Okay. Yeah. I worked during the summer. There was a lot of talk about me, but I don't like to talk. I prove on the pitch what I can give to a team. All right, my guy. All right. Let's continue on. Romelu Lukaku. I just want to make an example of NBA player LeBron James, even though I'm not like LeBron. Bam, bam, bam. That one took a lot of criticism, but handled it unflinchingly. I want to adopt the mentality.
This guy talking about mentality, man. Oh my.
All right, the light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, here's the light at the end of the tunnel. Understand, Chelsea have already fixed an exit fee for Romelu Lukaku in summer of 2024, and it's around 37 million euros. That's an agreement to make Romelu Lukaku available for the fee fee. There's an agreement to make Romelu Lukaku available for that fee next year. Lukaku doing great on loan to Roma as he scored 7 goals. Listen, Lukaku. Before we go, I just want to say, where is this? Oh, here we go. All right, there you go. Congrats with scoring goals. You know, you're doing good this season so far. Keep at it, because we don't fucking want you here. Go away. You're an absolute disgrace to this club. Fuck you. Fuck everything you stand for. You're a piece of shit. This man went through so much just to go back to Inter. Was twerking for Inter. Only wanted Inter. Listen, Champions League night, whatever the fuck happened that summer, you knew about that the whole time. Yet in the summer, you wanted Inter. You only wanted Inter.
Well, no, wait. You remember the reports, right? He was negotiating with Juventus in the lead up to that final.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this guy, man, he's trying to rewrite history. Yeah.
Exactly.
He is a clown.
He's trying to rewrite fucking history, saying it was one way when it's like he's being a hypocrite. Like, just like he wanted one thing, and now when he didn't get the one thing, now he's pretending like it's almost like he's trying to save face. He's pretending like he never wanted Inter. It
just doesn't make any sense. Like, oh, I don't like to beat around the bush, but then you have to wait for the right time. Like that is literally beating around the bush.
Yeah, this guy's an absolute.
Just get to your point, man. If you want to talk, then talk.
I think he did apologize, but he didn't. It wasn't a sincere apology. Ahmed, you wanted to cook? This is the segment you wanted to wait for.
I'm gonna be so ill. This guy, he's chatting so much rubbish, man. So much was, man. He talks too much, bro. You know, for me, the irony is, yeah, I don't want to talk. You know, I've done enough talking. It's not time for me to talk on the pitch. You know, he said that like I think a week ago. 2 days later, he starts talking. And then, for me, yeah, can you go back to the previous tweet about LeBron James, please?
Give me 1 second. I'll go back to it. I'll get it. I got it. Fuck up, okay? Hold on.
I want to talk about that tweet as well, but after you, Ahmed.
I got it. Is it there? Oh, it's loading. Okay.
It's loading.
Yeah, right?
You know what it is, bro?
Chris, I swear to God, bro.
Can I just say,
this man wanted this guy back, bro.
Why? This is, you know,
we didn't want him back. I just said in case you didn't get.
You know when people talk about this guy is like too American and everything like that, bro. Listen, this guy was playing the EPL, bro. The EPL is probably, in my opinion, worse than the NBA when it comes to what's it called, journalism, and the way they will cook you. Like they I don't know. I was recently rewatching the David Beckham documentary. The way they were killing this guy in that documentary was absolutely crazy. Like the thing for me is, yeah, what has LeBron done? What has LeBron? Yeah, doesn't even. All he does is to speak his truth. He gets cooked for it, and he can't speak again about it. What are we doing here, man? And like the thing is, you don't even have the ability of him. You don't want to have the ability. Then why are you talking about LeBron James when you don't even have the ability? LeBron James is a generational talent. You're not generational talent, bro. When LeBron James was needed, he stood up. When was the last time you stood up for your country, bro? In the World Cup, in any cup, bro?
Vic, I think this is insanely cap. This is come on, bro. No matter what you think of Lukaku, he talks to talk and walks it.
Come on, bro. I'll give this to Vic, yeah. Vic, for me, Lukaku is very much like, I would say, Harry Kane right now. Until Harry Kane, as he came win a trophy. Yeah, Harry Kane, yeah. What's it called? Yeah, he has more than 200 goals in the EPL. But does he have any trophies to show for it? When his team needed him in finals, was he able to show up? When his country was needed him in those critical moments, was he able to show up?
No.
That's what I'm saying to you, bro. Let's be real. That's the big problem with Lukaku, bro. That is the big problem with Lukaku. You can say, yes, he won a Serie A title, but remember, guess who was next to him? Guess who was next to him?
Martinez.
Yes, bro. This is the problem with Lukaku, bro. This is the big problem with Lukaku, which is that, you know, for all the talent he has, he's never been able to back up at the biggest stage.
Guy's not clutch.
He's not clutch,
He's,
bro.
wait, I gotta remind you guys, he's part of the reason Belgium got eliminated when they did.
Yes.
He could have been part of the reason why they continued on in the World Cup, but he failed.
Don't forget his stinker
Same
in
thing
the
with
Champions
Inter.
League final as well,
Exactly.
and the Europa League
Same thing with
final.
Inter. I don't know about the Europa League one.
That was it? Who was that again? That was Inter versus Ahmed. Do you remember what that
Which
was?
one? Europa League.
Yeah, the Europa League final where he
Sevilla.
stood in the way of the guy's header.
Sevilla.
Yeah. Oh, that was 2020, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2020.
Yeah, Marshall. I don't know if you've seen it, but this guy literally an Inter player headed it, and he just stood in the way of it, and like it was going in.
Oh,
Like-
I did see the highlight action. Now I think about it.
The problem,
Yeah.
but look, you know, I hear Vic's point here, but the problem is Vic here. He's emotional about it too, bro. Let's not get it twisted. He can say that we're emotional, but he is also emotional about it too.
Can't believe this is
if
the
he
guy.
wasn't- If he wasn't emotional, Vic, yeah, he wouldn't be coming up saying, "I don't speak," and then he starts speaking.
Come on,
You know what I'm saying?
this is the guy trying to give lectures on mentality, man. Whenever it goes wrong for him, he just piles on the pounds. Let's not actually beat around the bush here. He has a track record of doing this. He has no right to talk to anyone about mentality. This guy.
Bangers a match right and burnt. I don't. I do not like it. I like my liquor, I like my gravy, I like my mustard. And I love
That's
onions on it,
Lukaku,
man.
yeah, pretty much.
Salt and pepper.
He did it-
Flavour.
Okay.
These guys serve up shit.
He did it at United, and we saw the reports when he went back to Inter that he was. Oh man, you were literally going about 103 kg.
Yes.
He does this, so stop talking about. Oh, I want to be able to have the mentality. Nah, bro, if you're 30 years old, you're not going to change your mentality overnight. Just give up this dream and
But that's the
bigging
problem,
up
bro.
yourself.
Like, how many times do we have to say it? But this is the problem. Like we know it, you know it, we all know it, bro. Like that's the problem with like Lukaku. Like Lukaku, wherever he goes, yes, he will score your goals. But the problem is when you need him to finish or ice it off, he won't be able to. Like he obviously had the rare case where with him and Conte, it seemed to have worked. But like that's just really the situation with Lukaku, bro. It is what it is. He's just not good enough, bro. He's a good striker, but he's not good enough. He's not a top striker. Like,
Man,
when
wanted
I'm
to compare
seeing-
himself to
when-
Benzema and
when
Lewandowski.
I've seen people hype him up for scoring against lower league, yeah, or like relegation for the Italian teams. I'm like, he wasn't doing this against lower league relegation teams for us.
No.
Let's keep it a buck, man.
Well, speaking of us, just want to mention one other thing. Remember the Real Madrid game when he missed the header?
Uncomfortable conversations, bro.
You know that's another example as well. You know, like oh god.
But the thing is, Vic, bro, I can agree with everything you're saying, but he does care, bro. He wouldn't be making these comments. He wouldn't be making these interviews. He wouldn't be doing all of this stuff if he didn't care.
He's
That's
the most
thing, bro.
insecure player I might have ever seen in my entire life.
He
And
was
the thing
literally
is,
doing
bro,
the most.
And the thing is, yeah, I'm gonna put it like this here. I've never heard Rock Nation drop someone. Rock Nation have dropped him, by the way. This is like confirmed. I've never had Jay-Z drop someone. He's dropped him.
I mean, are you surprised though? Because if
No,
you
no, no,
remember
but
when he,
I
if you
hear you,
remember,
bro, yeah.
wait, if you remember when he did the Sky Italia interview, he didn't even consult anyone from his agency. Like, is this a good idea and should I do it and whatnot?
Yeah.
And what's the point at that point of having him on your books if he's not
That
even
makes you
going
a
to use you
liability.
properly?
That makes you a
Yeah.
liability.
It does.
Yeah.
And
Credit
even
company.
when he was trying to deal with going back to Inter on loan, he used his lawyer. He didn't use anyone from Rock Nation. So what's the point?
That is true. So that's the problem, bro. That's what I'm saying to you. It's a big problem, bro, with him. That's why when I say he's emotional type of player, he is, bro. He is. He's just an emotional type of player right now. And like the thing for me is, yeah, when it comes to the Euros this season, watch when Roma need him the most, watch. And like the thing also is, yeah, now people know what to say. You know, Roma's not been playing good, by the way. They've not been winning games, and he's been scoring, by the way.
I saw one funny thing Eunice has been tweeting. Roma are kind of mirroring our results like exactly right now. If you check like what
Yeah.
they won their last game 4-1, we won 4-1. It's quite striking, you know.
To be fair, man, they're probably trying to do this similar thing to like Mourinho, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, you know.
This guy's ridiculous, bro. I really hope he does well, so that clubs come in for him. Listen, like,
I mean, if they can't come in for 37.5 million, then like that's not our problem, and that's not his problem anymore. Like that is such a cut fee, and I think Marshall, it's actually a clause in his contract, Marshall, because when we renegotiate it for the lower wages, I think that's kind of like a release clause now. So they don't even have to negotiate; they just come in and they say we're going to pay it, and they pay it.
Yeah,
it's as simple and as straightforward as that.
It needs to be with this guy, man. Like we need to just get him off the books. It's good that he's on lower wages now, which makes it a lot more manageable. But regardless,
I can't wait. I can't wait to hear his story. By the way, I can't wait to hear his story. He wants to talk about people talking about bullshit against him. Like I can't wait to hear the bullshit comes out of his mouth.
Bro, his Netflix documentary, whatever documentary they make on is going to be great because.
Oh, don't give him the ego boost.
No.
Please.
What I mean by that, Oliver, is that when people actually talk about him and like they do the what's it called thing about him, it's gonna be great because you're gonna actually really find out the real Lukaku in the sense of like this guy that people have been like. I know Vic is saying that he doesn't care about everything like that. When you find out about his story, it's gonna be a story about someone who's had a failed career everywhere. Every place where you could have like reached greatness, he hasn't been able to do so, bro.
I mean, to be fair to him though, like, okay. That's also I can't believe I'm actually having to do this. To be fair to Lukaku, he has had a successful career when it comes to Belgium and as an overall career. He's not been the most successful when it comes to like Drogba, for example. Like Drogba always came in clutch for us.
But Marshall, he hasn't had a successful career, bro. He hasn't had a successful career. Let's not.
Isn't he the top goal scorer for all-time goal scorer for Belgium?
Listen, shall I tell you who's the top goal scorer for Croatia is? Has he had a successful career? No, it doesn't matter, bro. He's not had a successful career for his national team. Yeah, that's like you could probably.
Belgium only had one golden generation, and he was the part of the only golden generation they've ever had. Like it's a difference when you have like France teams that have had multiple golden generations. If you're the top goal scorer there, like Olivier Giroud is, it's completely different from being a Belgian top goal scorer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
but that's the problem, bro. Like, I think the thing what you're not understanding, Marshall, and I'll put it up like this, is that from a career perspective, he's not had a great period, bro. Like, you can probably see at Everton, maybe West Brom. Let's remove those two. After West Brom and Everton, he go to Man United. Did he have a successful career at Man United? No, he didn't.
Oh,
he goes to Inter Milan. You could say he had somewhat of a successful career. You could say he had a bit of success there with Inter Milan. Okay, he went to Chelsea, failed. Then he went to Inter Milan again, failed. Then now he's going to Roma. It's more than likely going to be another failure.
He's literally not rated by any of his ex-fan bases besides West Brom and Anderlecht.
Yes.
They all hate him. Everton hate him. We hate him. United hate him. Inter hate him.
And that's the thing for me. In the long term, in the long term, when it comes to Lukaku, a lot of people are going to look at Lukaku as like what not to do if you're a top player. He'll be a film. And you know what it is? And you know what's crazy about Lukaku? You know Lukaku is the most expensive player, by the way. He's the most expensive.
Cumulative transfer fees.
Cumulative transfers. That's what I'm saying, bro. And like the fact that he's a failure should speak volumes.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Listen, I just, you guys ready to move on? This guy's a clown.
Pretty much. I'm happy to move on.
Yeah. Overall, I just really want this guy to leave the club. Means I want him to do well, and if it means he leaves the club because as a result of doing well, then so be it. But he can go. Look, Lukaku, look at what you've done to my stream, man. I was doing good with concurrent viewership, and now I've dropped down to 23 because everyone hates Lukaku so much. Big up everyone that's stuck around.
I think Jose is gonna get sacked this season. I'll be real. He's leaving Roma this season.
Maybe.
His third season.
Let's do it for Lukaku so my viewers can come back, okay? Let's go on to the next topic. Fuck you, Lukaku. All right. Oh shit, I didn't actually put it in here. Okay. We're gonna talk about Strasbourg. So Strasbourg are not happy with us, with Blueco, I should say. So let's discuss why they're not happy with Blueco. So, first tweet I have here. All right. Strasbourg fans are critical of Blue Co ownership. We don't want the incompetence that reigns at Chelsea and Strasbourg. How do you say that? Alsace fan group? I don't know how to say that.
I see.
I'll say okay. Strasbourg, Alsace fan group have written to club president Mark Keller criticizing the Blue Co ownership. Then we move to the next tweet by Ben Jacobs. A collection of Strasbourg supporter groups have written an angry letter to Mark Keller. Pardon me. Money without skills leads to nothing good. The example of Chelsea, the so-called Big Six brother who spends a lot of money only for a fall in the English hierarchy, is a worrying benchmark. The incompetence that reigns in Chelsea, we do not want in Strasbourg. Multi-club ownership is a danger to football. Then the Federation supporters, RCS Strasbourg fans, write open letter to Blue Co. Okay, and this is the letter I believe that went to Mark Keller. Following Blue Co's purchase, the 2023 summer transfer window is our first element of analysis and our first major worry. The exclusive recruitment of very young players, not yet operational and potentially weakened by their over-exposition, combined with the absence of arrivals of more mature players, exposes the club to a sporting risk from which the owners should have better protected us. Blue Co's imposition of an obligation to buy only very young hopefuls is senseless on a sporting level, and the fans don't relate to the team at the moment. Supporters that maintain that since our purchasing of Racing, we are only a training center and a secondary piece of global business, have gained credit following this transfer window, which seems far from the announced ambition. Money without competence doesn't lead to anything good, and the example of Chelsea, our so-called big brother, who have spent a lot of money but have had vertical fall down from English hierarchy, is an important reference point. We don't want the incompetence that reigns Chelsea at Strasbourg, neither directly nor indirectly. Beyond the Strasbourg case, we wish to also remind you that multi-club model ownership is a danger to football. The pyramid system this system is slowly locking into place, and even more strongly than was already the case, risks reducing the majority of clubs to a simple objective of developing young players and helping the few clubs at the top of the pyramid in order to yield profit for their business. Clearly, it is very worrying perspective. I'll be honest, Strasbourg fans, I understand where you're coming from, but you sound just like Chelsea fans last season. You're rushing the gun. You're jumping to conclusions way too quick, and you're not giving time for the project to manifest and to play itself out in order to actually fairly criticize it. I think this is ridiculous. I think this is over the top. I think this is overblown. I said the same thing about Chelsea last season. I'm saying this Chelsea fans last season. I say the same thing about Strasbourg fans this season.
Were you hearing me, by the way?
Yeah, I didn't hear you at all. You finally you were muted, I think. But go ahead.
Oh,
Ahmed.
my bad. I was just saying. I think I understand maybe the point they're coming from. Where I think for them, their major worry has always been, and I think will always be, maybe staying in the league. In my opinion, that's the thing that they've always worried about. Hence why, obviously, they've been like a mid-table to lower mid-table club, essentially. But for me, like, it's interesting to see because they've been playing quite well. I would say that's the thing recently. As of recent, they've been playing quite well. They've been doing quite well. We'll see what happens in it, but so we'll see.
Even this, what we were saying earlier in this letter, right? The multi-club model is dangerous for football, and all it does is, like, the gist of what I understood there is all it does is feed the big teams.
But it's true.
That's necessarily true.
No, but the thing is that is true. Oh, listen, let's not deny that. But the problem is, but that's why the way football is going currently. Like, if we're being honest, a lot of the reason why people are buying at Strasbourg or like a Genoa or Chelsea's probably trying to buy Sporting now or something like that is because guess what? Those clubs are teams that, are known mid-table clubs that maybe a little bit famous, but, they're not going to really change from where they are. How likely is it that Strasbourg is going to change from where they are?
But here's the thing, like, let's take, for example, Salzburg, right? What was Salzburg prior to the multi-club model?
Salzburg?
Yeah, RB Salzburg.
Red Bull.
No, they're the school Salzburg.
Well, yeah. Were they competing at Champions League every season?
Probably. They probably were. I'll be honest.
Were they? I don't know. I'm
think
genuinely
they were-
asking because I don't know.
Yeah, I think they probably will. I'll be honest. I think again, it's just we're in an era now where everyone wants to complain, everyone wants to cuss out and cook out
True.
everyone, like and everything like that. And I think France is a good point because, like, if you look at Girona, which is the team that Man City own, they're in the top 3 sides in the league, by the way. Right now, so it is possible, man. It is possible. So listen, at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. But I'm more than happy that we'll be fine. And they can't.
I think
do
we'll be
anything
fine
this one.
too. But this
And
is
the
the
thing
thing,
is,
like
they
Go
can
ahead.
chat all this shit. They can chat all this shit they want, but none of this is going to change because Chelsea own 94% of the club, and they can do whatever they want essentially. So they
But
can
the
cry,
other thing
laugh,
too-
and everything about it.
the other thing too, like I see where you guys are coming from with this idea that it feeds the main club, which okay, yes, that is true. This is supposed to support the big club, right? But it also supports Strasbourg because ideally, what this should do, this multi-club model, is have them compete in Champions League consistently. Where when was the last time Strasbourg was in the Champions League?
The thing is, as a football club, we can't let them be in the Champions League. That's the point, bro.
We can.
No,
Red
we
Bull
can't.
does it.
No, we can't because I've said this to you before that we cannot have 2 clubs which are majority owned by teams to have that happen. The problem with RB Salzburg is not majority owned by RB Leipzig. It's the same with like RB. So because RB Leipzig is only owned 49%, then the 50+1 rule is in effect for that club. If you know, you know. For Germany, and then they own Salzburg. That's why they're able to do it. The problem with Chelsea, they own the Clear Lake and everyone owns more than 50% of the club, and then they also own more than they own 90% of like Strasbourg.
Okay.
You have to have a minority ownership, basically.
What does happen though if Strasbourg gets into
you're
the
not,
Champions
you're not
League
allowed
spot?
to do that. So you'd have to sell the club. You'd be told you have to sell one of your shares, essentially.
Is that factual? We're going to be forced to sell the club if the
Yes.
more clubs go in the Champions League?
Exactly.
That
yes.
seems absurd.
I'm being serious, bro. Yes. That's
And
what
it would be Strasbourg because they can't take dividends or sell Chelsea until 2032.
exactly.
That seems absurd, though.
But that's the
Don't you
reality,
guys think
bro.
that sounds
It's conflict of
absurd? Like,
interest, Marshall.
It's the conflict of interest problem. That's why.
that seems really ridiculous to have to be forced to sell your club if your other club.
It's not about
And
selling
other
the club.
clubs.
It's about you have to make sure that you don't have a majority stake. It has to become a minority.
Exactly.
So, do you guys reckon that maybe they sell a
It's why
majority of it
like
and still
look
hold
at
on to
Brighton,
minority stake?
bro. Look at Brighton, for example. You know that Brighton and Tony
Okay.
to reduce his stake in USG, by the way, because
No, I
Brighton,
didn't know that.
because both Brighton and USG are in what's it called the Europa League, so they had to reduce he had to reduce his ownership of USG by a certain percentage in order for it to happen. Of course, I think maybe I was wrong in saying sell, but it would have to reduce the ownership to like a minority level essentially. I think is the right term.
49%.
So
Right?
they would have to. I think I think the other thing is I think I've seen what Nizar and Ben have been saying. The thing is that hasn't happened yet because PSG might be in that similar situation soon where they're trying to relax the ownership guidelines in the UEFA like competitions, so that you can own 2 clubs essentially that in the competition, if that makes sense. Because that's eventually going to happen, especially with these Premier League clubs now. It's a formality that eventually will happen.
Okay, I understand. Regardless, though, I will say this: even if they can't make it to Champions League because of the formalities of the ownership and all that, I would like to believe that the Blue Co can get Strasbourg to a point where they're constantly competing, where they are a significantly, prominent team in Ligue 1, as well as potentially winning the trophy. The what's the trophy? What's the league competition they have there?
Of the cup or the league?
Coupe de Champs.
The cup.
Coupe de Champs.
Yes. So potentially even winning that trophy, I think it's ridiculous to jump to these conclusions and say all this and that about Blue Co. when it's not even been 2 months of the ownership taking over Strasbourg. And one of their best players is one of our youth products. And I look at how, listen, I know it's not the same situation, but if the pyramid scheme the pyramid structure for Red Bull is so that, Red Bull Leipzig is the best team in that pyramid structure, you still have Salzburg that is relevant and always going into Champions League and having money funded into that club. You saw how much Dominic Szoboszlai ended up going for when he started off in that club, and so on and so forth. Erling Haaland went off to Dortmund after that. So listen, I think it's a good way for financially these clubs to be a little bit more relevant and sustainable. And another thing for these clubs to be more competitive and relevant in European competition. I don't think it's as bad as they make it seem to be. I don't know if you guys disagree with anything or want to add on to anything I said there, but we can move on to the next topic if you guys want to.
I was just going to say, they were talking about in the letter about, money without competence doesn't lead to anything. Yeah, but nor does no money and no competence. Like that's what you were last season. You were in a relegation battle, and just to put the record straight, we are not in the position we are both this season and last season because we spent £1 billion. That is not the sole reason. There are so many other circumstances there that are being ignored because, like you said, Marshall, fans are reactionary.
Yeah.
It's just reactionary. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, and it is what it is. Like we'll see if they decide to turn it around.
I understand their fears. I
get it.
If you put yourselves in their shoes, you wouldn't want Chelsea to be secondary to another club.
Exactly.
That's the key thing. You have to empathise with that. You would not want Chelsea to be secondary to any other club. You'd want to be number one.
Of course. And, you look at the sample size with Todd Bowley right now. It's not a good sample size. I get it. It's very much not a good sample size. And we could see how much incompetence there's been with the ownership in the last year of our, of the takeover. But at the same time, we're seeing improvements.
In the last year of our Lord. Is that what you're trying to say?
No.
That's what you felt like you're about to take over. In the last year of our Lord, the club have not been able to.
No. But I'm just saying, you guys would agree. There's been a lot of bad when it comes to, Todd Bowley taking over the club, but there's been improvements as well, and there's been corrections from the mistakes from last season, which is what we want from our ownership.
Also, just on the mistakes thing, I just want to point out, as far as I'm aware, if anyone's aware of otherwise, then let me know. I don't think Blueco have actually changed Strasbourg's sporting structure besides, like they haven't really put any staff in, as far as I'm aware.
I don't think so.
The only thing they've done is...
There was one, right? They got the manager.
They've just brought in Vieira, obviously, and they brought in
Patrick Vieira.
Exactly.
But they kept
Vieira.
the guy that this letter's addressed to. He was there before.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I don't think they've not added a sporting director or anything.
Maybe this was a transfer strategy. That's the only thing that might have changed. But other than that, I think even the transfer strategy, I think is necessary for them because of what was happening.
I mean, we'd have to do a more thorough analysis on last season. What was their average squad age or something? Does the squad age actually have to come down? But I don't know this off the top of my head. I'd have to look into that, and I'm sure that's the same for everyone else here. They might, as Ahmed said, might actually be necessary.
Yeah, we'll see. But
I understand for them, bro. I think that I understand for them. It's not nice and it's not easy. And again, I sympathise with their plight at the end of the day. But the problem with and I said this before with French football is that because of what has happened as of in the last few, especially in the previous decade and everything like that, it's caused problems for that league in the sense of money monetarily, and the fact that these guys need money, and it's meant that a lot of these teams which are producing talent, whether it be obviously Strasbourg's been one, there might be another one that might be coming soon. There may be a worry of which they have to be brought out and become like pyramid clubs essentially, and that's the worry, bro. It's not easy to say, but that is the worry that you might start seeing a lot of these lower mid-table to mid-table clubs team become like pyramid teams because of the fact they're in such a large amount of debts that it cannot be paid.
We'll see what happens. Time will tell with these clubs. Let's go on to the next topic, which is I think another pretty important talking point. The striker situation right now with Chelsea. There's 2 players that we're targeting, and one of them is Osimhen. And it's looking more like Osimhen might be our go-to. And I'll explain why. So first tweet I have here is apparently John Obi Mikel has advised Osimhen to join Chelsea. Take it with a pinch of salt. It might not be true. It might actually be true.
No, he actually said it in an interview that he hopes he goes to Chelsea. I think that's what he's referring to.
Yeah, and I hope it's right. They're both Nigerian, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So I could see the links there, and the contact being made. So it could be what Oliver said. John Obi Mikel did come out and say that. Whether he had personal conversation with him and try to convince him, maybe it happened, maybe it didn't, but we'll see. Let's move on to the next tweet. Fraser Fletcher reporting on Victor Osimhen. Chelsea have always loved him and had him down as top option for striker. CFC source told me we saw he is the perfect Chelsea forward. However, it's very difficult to get things done, especially in January. Yes, I know. Bowley just reporting it as you never know with Chelsea. So yeah, I believe he's also a Chelsea fan. I don't know how true that is. I think I saw somewhere someone said
no. It's just that because he said that his hero is Didier Drogba. That's why.
Gotcha. I mean, listen, this could happen. It's just that price. What is that price going to be? What could happen? There's also you could see what happens.
It's going to be crazy
with Napoli. It is going to be a little while. We'll see. And the reason we're bringing up Osimhen now and really talking about him more prominently is because this is what's currently happening with Ivan Toney. Brentford striker Ivan Toney is reportedly keen on a move to Arsenal when his 8-month ban for breaching the FA's betting rule is up in January. Apparently this is true. He does want the Arsenal move.
Can I be honest about this?
And Arsenal can offer him more, but go ahead, Ahmed.
Let me just 1 second. You know what? I'll let Oliver go ahead with me quickly because I need to double check one thing in the meantime. It's a
go ahead, Oliver.
Yeah, like with Osimhen, like even if there's like a legal thing with him and Napoli, if he's still annoyed about the TikTok thing, and that's his right to be annoyed, whatever. But even if that still happens, like De Laurentiis, he will not like concede a lower price. He is just like impossible to negotiate with a lot of the time. So I would not be optimistic for an Osimhen deal at all. And with Toney, I'm not surprised. I believe he is an Arsenal fan. So, as much as we've had Arsenal fans come to Chelsea, that can play a role sometimes. So, I don't know. I mean, yeah.
It seems like the overall consensus of, Toney happening has been negative. And I could see why, it's one of the, someone said that one of the biggest reasons we were able to get all the players we got is because of London. London itself is, I'm sure I haven't been, but I've heard nothing but good things about the city. It's wonderful to live in, all this and that. And it is an attractive location for a lot of players. Arsenal can offer that as well. And not only can Arsenal offer that, Arsenal are going to give you European matches as well.
That's the thing right there. Yeah, that's the thing right there. Because what separated us in the past is we had London, but we also had the European football when they didn't, and now the tables have turned. So they have these same advantages that we had in the past, just without the previous pedigree. This would be they'd be looking to win Arsenal's first Champions League, whereas we have the pedigree and we might be more well known across the world. So there is a bit of a difference there.
Ahmed, I'm going to let you cook before I say what I got to say. So go ahead, man.
So, the thing for me is that I think Ivan Toney and Osimhen are 2 different striker types, and that's the problem for me. Obviously, I think right now Chelsea, and I think we've seen this also with the situation of Haaland, where listen, let's look at it. Haaland will score goals. Let's not do that 100% of the time. I agree with everyone who says that. The problem is that when the goals are not coming, you need the striker. I think particularly now in the modern day, more than ever, your striker has to be able to give you some sort of secondary ability, if that makes sense. If he's not ball in the back of the net, can he at least provide like some sort of link-up play with the team, some sort of gameplay with the team, right? And the thing for me is that even though I love Osimhen and I think he's a top player, right? I'm not necessarily sure he can provide that for us. Like from what I've seen, he's more so focused in the box. That's why for me, bring Tony was the one for me to bring in. Now, excuse me. Now, when it comes down to it, if he goes to Arsenal, I'm not sure if he will actually cook. I'll be real.
Really?
I think so. Actually, I think it may be a case that he reduces his goal rate. Actually, I'll be honest, because he's
Why do you
gonna
say
be.
that?
I feel like he's gonna play similar to get how Gabriel Jesus is playing there. Because if you watch Ahmeds Channel and Brentford, he's doing a lot of the link up play work. Like and then like the goals for him come from once he does the link up play. If he has to get into the box there, then Mboma can see him and then bang. Like he was working, he works really well like a duo. The problem is if he's by himself, how good is he gonna be to be working there by himself up front?
But what's to say he's not gonna be able to? What's to say Arteta's not gonna set him up with playing with Gabriel Jesus?
He's always playing him by himself. Arteta's not changing the system, bro. He's not going to change.
Well, Arteta's playing him by himself because he doesn't have another striker to pair up with Jesus. Not gonna put Nketiah up there with him.
No, but
I think
remember,
he
he's
trusts
got.
Nketiah
But
that
remember,
What they have been doing is they've been playing Nketiah up front and Jesus on the right wing. They don't play him as a two.
Yeah, because he wants to play that formation, and the thing is, when you got Saka and Martinelli, are you really gonna risk bringing in a two-man striker force, and then that means you have to lose someone in midfield, or you're gonna have to lose someone on the wing. So
I mean.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, for me, just going back to the points that we're speaking about in regards to the striker force, I'm not sure we need a fox in the box because we tried that with Lukaku. I'll be real. We tried that with Lukaku being the fox in the box situation under 2 when it didn't work. Now, let's not go to say Osimhen is definitely better than Lukaku, but I'm not sure Chelsea right now are looking for a fox in the box situation, if that makes sense.
It does.
And the thing with Osimhen is, he's producing the numbers. He's got 6 goals and 8 appearances in Serie A right now. He's cooking, he's sourcing right now. But the problem that you're gonna have here is that I'm not sure at Chelsea Football Club if we need that. We need a striker that can be a bit more, providing a bit more. That's why when we saw like Jackson play, particularly in the second half against Burnley, it's the stuff that I wanted to see from our striker. Like he was able to link up play. He was able to link up play. He was able to move around, pass it into the thing. That's the thing right now. Like this is the modern day striker. Essentially, has to be like a Drogba type of striker. Like I know we talk about Drogba. Oh, we need to become like. I'm not saying someone needs to become like a Drogba, but Drogba, the thing about him wasn't just scoring goals. You know what I'm saying? He had the secondary ability essentially, where he was. We need someone that's gonna basically be able to link up the play, be able to make the pass into that and everything like that. That's what he was doing. Because essentially, you need to have some level of playmaking essentially within yourself. That's all it is.
Yeah, not even just Drogba as well. You have like Aguero as well. That was
Benzema was another one. Yeah, Benzema was another one as well.
Benzema, Aguero.
No. Yeah. So it's just you need essentially you don't need like a striker. It's more so like a CF essentially, which is a centre forward. You need a centre forward essentially. That's what you need. That's why I like false nines under Pep was working because that playmaking, the secondary ability was so strong in that whoever was playing the fake striker that the need for scoring was not necessary because he was playmaking so much essentially that the guys on the wings were only needed to be good shooters.
You can also just confuses the opponent with the amount of movement and interchanges you can do. I mean, you saw that with Pep in 2020. You saw that with us in the Champions League run. Although the quality of the finishing wasn't there with us, but we were certainly making it difficult for teams in terms of we could take them out of shape enough to create the chances, but you couldn't finish them.
But exactly, bro. And like, I would just add this for you quickly, bro, Marshall as well. Yeah, is that remember in that UCL one we had Ziyech at one point that was playing as the ST against Atletico Madrid.
Yeah. What I will say is this though, like, wouldn't you? I'll make this argument, or I'll throw devil's advocate here. Wouldn't you guys also think that it would be useful for us to have more than one type of striker? Like, yes, we have a Jackson right now that does a lot of the things that you guys are saying in a sense of, or he's looking like the type of player that you guys are saying that you see in Ivan Toney. But what about a striker that stays in the box? Kind of, you're only there for finish off the chances that we make. That's the type of striker.
But don't you think we already have that though? Do you not think we have that already?
That's Broja.
That's Armando Broja, bro.
Is that Broja?
What is Broja doing? Bro, does Broja link up play for you, bro? He's literally that striker. All he does is hold up play, goes into the box, waits for the pass to come in for him. Literally.
Maybe I think it's a little. I think right now it's a little too soon to say if Broja's that type of striker, because I would associate Broja last season, the little we saw of him, as a getting behind the defense
particularly
type of
the fact that my guy is now tore his ACL, bro. I don't know what else you're expecting, broski.
But on the other hand, though, is he good enough to be that kind of a striker? Should we stay with Broja? Why not get someone who's proven that type of striker?
But the thing is, you can't get Tony and Osimhen.
Bro.
Obviously, it's one or the other.
But the thing
But
is, what you're
assuming
saying
Tony's
right
not
now,
possible.
broski, what you see right now, casually, yeah, should I say Marshall, is that
No, he's calling me
Oh,
casually.
dude.
He's calling me casually. It is what it is. I've accepted it.
But what you're saying, Marshall, for me, yeah, is the problem, bro. Because then what? We spent under 20 million on Osimhen. We're gonna expect him to play, and then what happened to Jackson then? What's gonna happen to Broja? You know what I'm saying? You've literally killed it because you spent too much money on him. That's why for me, yeah, what I've been seeing stuff about Georg Cross from Sporting, or like, so who's the other guy? Benjamin Sesko from RB Leipzig. When you hear stuff like that, I'm like, okay, maybe I can hear that a bit more. You know what I'm saying? But that's why for me, again, and I've said this before, that's why it matters so much for me, yeah, that this season you really allow Jackson the time that he needs to get to that level that you want him to. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? This is the point I mean. I don't think Jackson for us here will score between, I've said this before, 5 to 10 goals is what I'm expecting from Jackson. This is for him, the learning season. I want him to grow in the league. Right? You have Broja there too.
Oh,
No,
bro, you're
right?
there too.
You got these two guys per game. Sorry?
You froze up after you said you have Broja there.
You have Broja there too, who can also learn and grow and do whatever he needs to do too, because of how Robert talent he is too. So again, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, obviously E says it's rotation, but you get the point I'm saying. Like you have two different strikers now for different situations. That's all it is, bro. But like that's the problem. Like the problem we have at Chelsea right now is that we're doing too much.
I mean, I think you're right. At the same time, though, I am. Listen, you guys, if you've been following the channel long enough, or if you know me, you know I've been a big advocate of Broja. I'm just worried of what Armando Broja we have in our team currently. If he's the same Broja as last season, and if he's going to be able to step up and become that striker that you guys are saying, if he is going to actually develop into that striker as well.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? Egregious, Monk. The thing for me is, I understand what you're saying, but that's why I always advocated for us to get maybe someone that's a bit more older. Maybe I would have said, if you're Chelsea and you're smart enough, bring back Drew to the club, let him play a season at Chelsea for you, where you can at least help, link up the play of the other wingers.
I don't think he wants to come back. I think he's happy.
No, Ahmed, he left because we didn't play him enough.
No, but I understand that. But I'm saying now he's a bit more older or something like that. You play him maybe a bit more often to allow him to do that for you. But like obviously, because his contract at AC is running out, by the way. So it would be a great opportunity to bring him back. You be like, listen, and we need you here to help out like a Jackson and a Broja to develop those sort of guys, and that's what you do. For me, that actually is a lot more of a smart option in my opinion. Obviously, we didn't do it this season, but maybe next season, if you're Chelsea, you have the opportunity there to bring him in to also help him out, to help out the other lads there too.
As much as I wouldn't mind that, I think it's a little bit of hopeful wishing. I think Giroud is done with Chelsea. I mean, I think he does enjoy Chelsea in his time at Chelsea, but
he doesn't need to. But again, I think for me, Marshall, it doesn't need to be Giroud. You know who it can be? Taremi is a good example that we've been speaking about recently. It can be someone else that's another striker that's a bit more in the growing up striker range that you can bring in to do that for you. It doesn't necessarily need to be like you know what I would have said? I think Callum Wilson, I think his contract is ending soon, if I'm not mistaken. Bring Callum Wilson in. Callum Wilson is a tried and tested striker. Yeah, he's been quite injury prone. I'll be honest with that one. But the problem with Callum Wilson though is the fact that because he was injury prone, that he's not been able to develop. But that's what it is. I mean, but again, I think for me, this is the thing with Chelsea right now, where I know people want us to saying that we need to get into Europe, and I think that's correct. We need to get into Europe, but at the same time, I'm thinking I think I'm thinking maybe with the squad we have, I'm maybe thinking long term. Maybe the idea that maybe if we miss a season out of Europe, is it necessarily that bad? If that makes sense, where at least these strikers are developing such that maybe if we miss this year, but we get Europe the next year after, we are a stronger side and a lot more better. If that makes sense.
I 100% am in the same mindset with you when it comes to the whole, qualifying for Europe. The only problem with that is that the price tag, the amount we paid for these contracts and the expectation that sets, we know how our Chelsea fans are. We know how our fan base can be. They're very volatile when it comes to, expectations and how much we're paying for these players. So if we don't make Europe, the implosion that's going to happen within the Chelsea fan base. Me and you will be fine because we understand that there's a process to this. And Oliver, I'm sure you're in that boat as well. But we know how volatile this fan base is going to get if we don't get into Europe.
The thing is, Marshall, and I've said this to you before, right? Is that I think getting Europe this season is possible. The reason why I've always said that it's possible for us to get Europe this season is because we've seen guys like Brighton, Aston Villa, a lot of these other mid-table teams, they can't handle that.
Yeah, they're being tested. Yeah.
United, you've seen already, they're going at that downtrend. We can, if we play our cards right with Sterling, some of these older players, and like we see some of these younger players a bit more developed. Quickly over time, there can be some success. But I think so. But I think for me, we also need to look at it from a realistic angle to say that these guys are not going to be, week in, week out producing 10 out of 10s.
Yeah.
Or like 8 out of 10s if we need them to. And this is the thing. I also agree with Chris. We need one of the best strikers. Haven't had one in ages. I agree with you, bro. But the problem is right now, I would have spent money on Ivan Toney, but if it doesn't want to come to us, you only left to Osimhen. And then if you got Osimhen, again, for me, the problem becomes
that price tag is crazy.
Do I want a fox in the box in the team?
Yeah. It's not even just that price tag sets such a high expectation. We'd break the transfer record again, probably, for that one. And we don't need that. Like, we don't need that. And we've seen how expectations kill strikers of this team. We saw how we did it with Timo. We saw how it happened with Morata. We saw how it happened with Romelu Lukaku. This is one of the three most recent, I believe, strikers in this team. So it's just expectations kill strikers in this team. I see how it's benefiting Jackson in the sense that the expectations haven't been so harsh on him, and I think people have been enjoying seeing his football. But we do need goals. We need to see how Jackson performs and so on and so forth with Broja. I listen, just because there is a strong interest for Osimhen over at Arsenal doesn't mean we shouldn't put our hat in the ring. We shouldn't try to compete to get that signing. But at the end of the day, we will see what happens. Let's go on to the next topic that I wanted to bring up, which is a player that is actually leaving Chelsea. And it's basically confirmed, even by the player himself. Chalobah, he wants out of Chelsea. So let's go into these two tweets real quick. The idea remains the same at Chelsea, and Trevor Chalobah has not been frozen out, but the expectation is that he will go in January. Ian Maatsen's situation has not changed. Sign a new deal or be sold. Chelsea don't want to lose him on a free transfer. The next tweet here is Trevor Chalobah is leaving Chelsea in January. It's time to go. He wants to play regularly. We've gone over this. It's a shame in a sense that Chalobah's leaving. I think he's a good lad, but at the same time, there's just no room for him in this team. We have, we got. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. We got the Sassy in that position. We'll see what happens with Fofana when he comes back from his injury. Thiago Silva can play in the right center back position as well. Where else are you going to put Chalobah? We have Malo Gusto who can play the right back position as well if Reece James can't be there. And on top of that, if you even want to put him in the midfield, which we did see one summer, he played in the midfield as a CDM. Why would you when you have Caicedo, Enzo, Leslie Ugochukwu, Lavia? There's no room for this player. And it's unfortunate because he's a good player, I think. And he's going to develop into a great player. But is he going to be as good as any of the players that we currently have? I don't know. What do you guys think?
But the thing is, Chalobah's like death blow, or like the Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed, right?
Yes.
He had the little, the hidden blade kill. He got the hidden blade kill when the Sarcy came. That was the hidden big kill, bro. That's the one from behind the back, bang. Like no one expected it. Literally,
Yeah, true.
I always
true.
say this. Me and Oliver did a stream, yeah, and I was like, does that mean maybe this Arsenal's coming going somewhere? The day before, when we found out, what's it called? The other gentleman, the Nigerian centre back from Southampton, went to Monaco. It's like, does that mean this Arsenal's on the move? Then bang, next day. Remember the next day? What happened? Disasi was at Chelsea. That came out literally out of nowhere. So it doesn't surprise me, bro. That was his killer blow, bro.
Yeah, and to be fair to Disasi as well, whether you're anyone in the chat or anyone in the Chelsea fan base like it or not, Disasi's been good for us. Disasi's been good for us. It started off as that conversation of like, oh, he looks like just the same as Trevor Chalobah, you know, one mistake per game. They look about the same level, and this guy's older, like, you know, give Chalobah a chance. But like now, over the course of time, we've seen that Disasi's just been better. He's been more consistent. He hasn't been making as many mistakes as Chalobah has. You know, it looks like he does, but you know, he hasn't. He's been winning headers in the box as well, which when it comes to set pieces, we've not been great lately. And I think he's a piece of that puzzle that's helped us tremendously in sense of defending set pieces, headers and all that stuff. I think there's a stat out there. He's won 89% of his aerial duels, I think, in the box or something like that. Some ridiculous number, which is fantastic to hear, especially from a defensive standpoint. But Oliver, what are your 2 cents on this?
Yeah, it's unfortunate with Chalobah. I like him as a player. I think he's incredibly underrated by this fan base. And yeah, but I've said this before, and it's the same thing with Ian Maatsen. They have to leave the club to further their own career, and I'm not one for holding people back and not holding that against them. If they need to leave to further their career, they need to go and do that. You know, 100%. With Ian Maatsen, like he can look at the Chalobah situation, the fact that he signed a 6-year contract extension a year ago to the month. You know, October of last year he signed a contract, and now he's on the outs with the club. So Ian Maatsen has no reason to sign that contract, especially when he's getting like nothing minutes off the bench.
Let's actually also bring that up as well, because that's the other thing that I wanted to discuss is Ian Maatsen must sign. And the reason being is that right here, Fabrizio Romano reported, Ian Maatsen needs to extend his contract or he could be sold in January. Listen, the thing is, okay, Ian Maatsen, you're not playing. Why are you not playing? Is it because you haven't signed the contract? Or is it because Poch? And I would like to think it's because he hasn't signed the contract. I don't know. What do you guys think?
But why is he going to sign the contract when he's getting nothing minutes out of like in any position, like left wing, right wing, attacking midfield? Like, there's no consistency there.
But the thing that bothers me though is this: the other thing that is inconsistent is that when he was offered to a club, he rejected the offer from Burnley. He wanted to stay at Chelsea.
Maybe because he knows there's another big club that's maybe after him. Because there's been rumors about Man City being after
Dortmund as well, I believe.
Dortmund also has been rumored to be after him too. So maybe he thinks he can get a better position than Burnley, which is like a relegation side, if you're being honest. Now, for me personally, I don't. The thing with Dortmund is that I don't know if they have the money to buy him. Like 31 million was put on the table there by Burnley. So any team that comes in for him in January is gonna probably have to pay 31 million for him. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what Chelsea will be asking for straight away off the board. Are they accepting that offer?
What are you gonna say, Oliver?
Do you really think they won't have that?
Sorry?
Do you really think they won't have that? I mean, they literally just got like 90 odd million for Bellingham, unless they've reinvested that.
They reinvested that, bro. They brought in like Antonio, and they brought in another guy called Nusa, but that's not.
They bought Sabitzer as well, didn't they? Right.
They bought Sabitzer. They brought in Fulkirk. They brought in a bunch of guys already. So like the money wise, it's gonna cost quite a bit now to go and get Ian Maatsen, by the way. So it's gonna be interesting to see at the very least what's gonna happen. And the thing with Chelsea right now is that with the injuries that Chilwell's getting.
We do need to go in the market for a left back.
Eventually, you got to go for a left back. And the thing is, if Pochettino does not rate Ian Maatsen as a left back, the club needs to buy a left back. And the question is, who is it going to be?
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens in the January transfer window with Ian Maatsen. We already know that, Chalobah is going to go. It's likely he goes to Bayern. Which, if he does go to Bayern, good for him. I think that's a good, fantastic move for him.
I'm gonna laugh if he goes to Bayern to once, because literally for me, it's just gonna be like he's just gonna be another defender another defender that's pretty much what is he gonna do? What is he gonna cook?
Well, yeah, this is what doesn't make any sense for me, because it's saying, I saw some tweets. I don't know if they're the ones you showed, but said that he wants minutes. He's not gonna get minutes at Bayern. What they got Kim Min Jae, De Ligt. They got Kim Min Jae, De Ligt, Upamecano. I don't know which other centre back they have.
Kim Min Jae's there too.
Yeah, I said that. Kim Min Jae, Upamecano, De Ligt. At right back, they've got what's his face?
Conrad Limer's playing for them right back.
They got Limer and is Mazraoui as well, right?
Yeah, Mazraoui too.
Yeah, there's no room for if you're banking on the odd chance he plays in midfield. What's he getting another? You're not getting another Kimmich. There's no room.
Are you telling me it's going to be really Kimmich and Chalobah midfield?
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Oh my god!
But you guys don't think Upamecano's not very reliable when it comes to fitness, though?
Yeah,
right?
but Tuchel's dropped De Ligt though.
Listen, I'll be real, bro.
If Tuchel dropped De Ligt, he could easily play Chalobah.
No, but I'm saying he doesn't rate De Ligt right now. It's Upamecano and Kim Min Jae that are playing, so he's fine with Upamecano as things seem.
But the problem is, and I'll make this point to you, Marshall, is that even if he plays in the centre back role, he will get cooked, in my opinion. Chalobah. I've said this before. I don't think as a 2, he works, bro. I'm gonna be in a 3 maybe, but in a 2, you can't play Chalobah in a 2, bro. I'll be honest. Especially against those.
Wait, hasn't Tuchel been playing a 3?
No, he's been playing only a 2, bro.
Not at Bayern.
I think for me, bro, the only way that it's gonna work is literally if you pay him in a 3. Like, and the thing is,
I don't disagree.
The Bayern way is a 3, and you know what these guys are like. You know what I mean? Tuchel, he might want to be playing the 3. You never know, broski, man. I said, this is when we talk about Tommy T, bro. Tommy T.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to see what happens. Right now, Bayern seems to be the strongest link. Maybe he goes to Italy too. There were Italian links in there with Inter, but we don't want to do business with Inter. We know
who else is gonna be? Who else is gonna go with Inter? Inter, they already got their centre backs now. Well,
they actually bought in Pavard, who's like Pavard would play that Chalobah role in a back 3. So
I think Pavard might actually be. He's an upgrade on Chalobah, bro. I'll be real.
But he plays the same. He's like a right centre back. He'd be the same role, and he's better.
The same role too, but he's just better.
Yeah.
He's just better. It's just that simple.
Right.
AC Milan. What? Who do they have? They have
Tomori.
Kia. Who's the other guy they had? No, the other guy they had went to. What's it called? To play with under Uncle Sari. So yeah, man. So that's
Well, what?
There's like another guy they used to have that's like the captain that went to Lazio.
Name start with an R. I know who you're talking
Romagnoli,
about.
right?
No.
Yes.
Romagnoli.
Yeah, he's at Lazio.
No, I remember because I thought he was starting the club, but then I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, he's not there anymore.
Yeah. He plays for Uncle Sari now, so that's so literally. I'm not sure. Maybe what you could say AC Milan, but even then, they've been doing their stuff in the market. Chalobah's not coming there anytime soon. So I'll be real, man. Maybe Nottingham Forest was the way to go. Maybe it was Forest.
I think he's a much better player than Forest, though.
But the thing is,
I think he could play at Bayern.
If the other clubs are clogged up, where to next, buddy?
I think whatever clubs he goes to, I think there will be more of a chance for him to break into the first team than here at Chelsea. I'll just say that. I do believe in this player. I do believe he's a good player.
Upamecano, if you play De Ligt and Kim Min Jae as a 2 centre backs, he doesn't get in. I'll be real. If they're playing at their best, then Kim Min Jae and Matthias De Ligt, Chalobah's best is not going to beat those 2.
Or even over Limer? You don't think he gets in over Limer?
No.
At right back, you mean?
Yeah, right back. Limer is doing a great job there. He's actually not been making any mistakes.
They should be playing Mazraoui there though. He's like the primary right back.
Man. They got there's an agenda against them. Man. Tuchel's got an agenda against them, bro.
I've heard that. That's weird.
Tuchel's got to against my brother, man. Free him, man. Free him, man. He's in chains, man. My brother's in chains there. You know what I'm saying? Yo, it's crazy, man. So listen, man. Tuchel was playing Pulisic there, but apparently can't play an actual right back. It's crazy, man. Hey, Gravenberch, yeah. Tuchel wasn't even rating him either. Tuchel was not rating Gravenberch.
Well, he's not at Liverpool.
Yeah, and he's playing the 8-year-old that he's doing pretty well. So listen, man. Tuchel and Talent ID. Tuchel's Talent ID. Stinky, man. Stinky hours, man.
No, yeah, it is stinky.
It
is stinky. But all right, that's the show, guys. Yeah, we're done. That I didn't expect to, really juice it out as much as we did, but we did, and I'm happy for it. It was a very dry news week, but we were able to get 2.5 hours of content for you guys. That's fantastic. Big up to the panel. Big up to Ahmed. Big up to Oliver. If you guys haven't done so already, the Bridge 258. Down in the description below, this man needs to get to 1,000 subscribers. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Man releases. Are you releasing daily content, Ahmed?
Yeah, pretty much. I've only been missing like one second, sorry, bro. Something just came up randomly. So I've been doing like every other day because obviously there's no new content right now. But I've been doing that. But obviously it's going to be daily content once the games from this Monday onwards, essentially. So tomorrow, obviously, if there's no news, I'll be back to doing episode 3 of the Chelsea back into glory series on Football Manager legendary mode. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a real one. You know what I mean? I don't hide. I don't go anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
You do hide.
No, I don't, man. I just beat Lewis 4-0. In 23 minutes, playing as Man City versus Man City. He couldn't handle Grealish cooking. The food and cooking, the 4-0 that I was doing. If you want to see stuff like that again, let me know, man. I can face Marshall if you want to see. Oliver's available. You know what I mean? Chris, whoever it is, man, we'll face them and we will beat them. I want it to be known. You know what I mean? I'm not scared. You know what I mean? I'm not scared to lose.
We will
I'm
be
not
there.
Scared to fail.
We will be there.
Check out my stream though from today. My stream today was going crazy. I was literally doing this in the stream because I was going so happy. I literally did doing this. It was going crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? But
oh my God. So yeah, guys, of course, during international break, there is some content for you guys to watch over there. So go check out his content. Be sure to check out all the links in the description below for the Twitter, the Discord, my other links as well, besides from YouTube, because I am a content creator, so I do other stuff on my personal YouTube as well as music and all that fun stuff. So check that out over there. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. We are on our way to 3,000 subscribers. First, let's get to 2.3. So help us get there. We're about I want to say 34 or 32 subscribers away from hitting that 2.3. So help us get there, one subscriber at a time. So if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. It would help us out tremendously. Be sure to smash up the like buttons if you haven't done so already. We are going to be rating Flawless over at Sarcasm City, see what he's been up to during international break as well. United are he needs moral support right now. That's what he needs. Him and every United fan, because they're not selling to Saudi, it looks like, which is very unfortunate for them.
No, they're officially selling to the English guy, Her Jim.
Blazers in.
He's going to be putting the Manchester back in Man United. Great.
That tweet I saw, that was mad.
You know where that comes from, by the way? You know that comes from like a YouTube ad, by the way, which is like a
what
far right party essentially. So that's why it came.
That's from oh my God, I didn't even know that context.
That's why people got put in the Manchester back in Manchester because they keep on putting the great back into Great Britain essentially.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Yo.
So we'll definitely be there to give him some moral support because United fans need it. Listen, it's not easy being rich. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and copy and paste that raid message over to Flawless and Sarcasm City TV. Before you guys head out, we have members to shout out. If you do subscribe or if you do become a member of the Casually FC channel at the proper casual tier and higher, you get shout out at the end of every show. So big up to our proper casual and higher tiered members: OG Turbo Jesus, Dark, Scott, Adrian, Will, A. Solomon, Maru CFC, the Danzo, Chelsea Till I Die, AP, and Iwani. Thank you guys so much for your support. The more members we get, the more emojis and features we unlock. So be sure to check out the memberships, as they are a fun way to engage with the chat and engage with the channel. We do have some fun emojis as well in there. But yeah, big up EE, big up to every other member as well. You guys do help this channel stay up and running despite international break and how dry the news has been. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed the stream. Thank you so much to everyone that tuned in. As always, we'll catch you very soon for another show. Hit the bell notification so you are notified that when we do go live, because I think there is going to be a stream that I did promise you guys this week. Ahmed, you know what I'm talking about. Let's keep it at that. But let's go ahead and do the raid. And as always, guys, thank you so much for being here. I'll see you over on the Sarcasm City stream. But as always, guys, stay casual, have a good night, and until next time.